right. Welcome to the Powerful Komiksman
Yeah.
podcast. Okay, so we're back. Teka, tanggalin na ito.
Sige, sige.
Takbo na tayo ng beer eh. Cheers muna,
Cheers,
cheers!
cheers, cheers, brother.
Habang naghintay tayo ng mga nanonood. Uh, like I always say, the Powerful Comics Man podcast is back. Please like and share the Powerful Comics Man podcast Facebook page, and also we the show it will be uploaded later on YouTube, and the audio versions are going to be available on Spotify and iTunes. So check out Pinoy podcasting if this is the first time you even heard about it, or you've been searching for Pinoy podcasts. It's a new form relative, at least to the Philippines, 'di ba?
Okay. Yeah.
Kaya it's an upcoming form of media that's sooner or later gonna be um tawag doon, mas popular in the Philippines. Inaano ko na yun. Hindi, pwede. Kasi it has happened on other countries eh. So
Correct.
it's sooner or later it's gonna catch up. So it's
Mm-mm.
gonna be, don't be a bandwagoner, okay? Get basta hop on aboard now para hindi ka bandwagoner later on. So check it out, Powerful Comics Man podcast, and check out other podcasts ng mga Pinoy content. Also Bola Boys podcast and the Chong Chang Show, mga ganyan. So ano pa ba? Before we start, like I said, please like and share the the video, this live stream. And then also this show is brought to you by Miyucha
Mm.
Lux Cakes. So we're gonna be at Mandala Park tomorrow. If you want, please check out vegan. Mga vegan yan, bro. Oh,
Ah,
yung mga cookies and donuts namin.
that's nice.
And so we're gonna be there. Say hi. Nandun ako. And yun, just say hi at bumili kayo, and basta, bala. Basta yun, di ba?
Okay.
Anyway, so that's it muna. I'm gonna time to introduce
Aba.
my guest. I'm honored that he has visiting me here at the studio to hang out. We're gonna be hanging out and be talking about a lot of great, awesome things that he's been doing. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Benny Benitez.
Nice. Salamat,
Cheers ulit,
brother. Cheers,
cheers!
cheers, cheers.
Woo!
Thank you,
Okay,
partner.
so what's up?
Well, nothing much. Well, plenty, partner.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, ha,
Mm-hmm.
for having me here,
Mm-hmm.
and baga pushing yung aking aking platform,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time I think it's high time that someone talks to me about the entrepreneurship journey that I have.
Yun.
Oo, kasi I think not a lot understands that, in this day and age of
Mm-hmm.
tech,
Mm-hmm.
that here in the Philippines, di ba, you've been hearing a lot, uy, si Airbnb, uy, si Uber,
Mm-hmm.
uy, si Grab, all of these big tech startups, I think there's a growing bunch of techs here in the Philippines, and I think yung Pinoy Liga platform that I have, is one of those.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happened na medyo Pinoy na Pinoy talaga siya eh. So you cannot distinguish na po, hindi siya Uber, hindi siya Airbnb. It's not without it's not with the pizzazz na ganun. But
Mm.
it's a tech startup, it's a software company. So it's a software.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let's you now that you've mentioned yung
Mm.
pag-usapan na muna natin yon, 'di ba?
Yeah,
Yung
sure.
pinoyliga.com. So to just to introduce Benny a
Yeah.
little bit, he is yun nga, he founded a tech startup company,
Mm.
but basically app siya.
Yeah.
And wait, nagkakaroon daw ng lag, pero I think it's the internet connection. Pero hopefully the 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 internet will be basta minsan it fixes itself. Kasi may mga oras talagang ganun eh, di ba?
Yeah,
Maybe we could talk about that later then.
sure.
How the internet
How
is,
the
di
internet is,
ba?
alam pare, there's a lot of discussions that needs to be made about the internet as well, because if you're talking about tech,
Mm-mm.
so uh, it's not far that you talk about the internet, because ang pinakamalaking pundasyon ng thriving tech startup or this type of services that we now have is
Mm-mm.
because of the internet.
Yeah.
Because of the internet.
Okay, so let's talk about PinoyLiga.com. That is your what you call this, your baby, so to
Yeah,
speak, right?
baby.
Kasi
Correct, correct.
kasi let's check out the website.
Sure.
Wow, ayaw lumabas nga, mabagal nga ang internet ngayon. Okay, so PinoyLiga.com. Can you what is PinoyLiga.com?
Ito palagi yung palagi kong sinasabi tungkol sa PinoyLiga.com. It's our take on digitalizing the basketball experience here in the Philippines. So, yan yung palaging tagline ko. So, I've been interviewed a lot already, and
Mhm.
I never stop starting the description of Pinoy Liga as such. So, ito yung aming take na maging digital yung
Mhm.
experience natin. No? Palagi nga tayong merong nasasabi, uy, basketball, tapos nasa papel at ballpen yung paglalano, yung pagkukuha ng stats, pagkatapos photos, videos, wala pa yan before, and then at
Mhm.
the same time yung bilis ng balita
Mhm.
nung resulta, it takes a while,
Mhm.
and then yung mga streams ng laro, if you're not with the big companies, with the big broadcasting companies, you will not be able to be shown these types of things, ano. So kumbaga,
Or league, 'di ba?
oh,
'Di ba?
correct. So parang ang nangyayari is that we're creating a digital platform where kumbaga it's the big equalizer eh.
Mhm.
So kung ikaw ay basketball player, ikaw ay isang liga sa Pilipinas,
Mhm.
you would be able to be seen. First, makukuha ka ng digital stats, which is napakalayo na niyan dun sa current state natin na papel at ballpen. Tapos yung mga news about our current basketball scene, about your basketball league,
Mhm.
it's as quick as ano na talaga, as a Facebook post already eh. Tapos yung bang the ability for you to be shown yung iyong mga laro, kada galaw mo, kada action shots mo makikita na.
May video na rin ba?
Yun yung ating dinedevelop in the next
Ah,
6 to 8 months. Ang mangyayari is that we will be launching Pinoy Liga TV.
wow.
Yeah. So,
Pero
kumbaga,
at the current state, what are the features available on pinoyliga.com?
that's good. The first is yung ating stats platform eh.
Mhm.
We are now able to do three things eh. One is real-time stats,
Mhm.
which is yung live stats functionality. As you move, as you go along, as the game progresses,
Ah, okay.
if your league has an internet connection na maganda,
Mhm.
then makikita
Real
mo
time.
in real time.
Mm.
And then at the same time, you as a basketball player would have the ability to have your own profile.
Mhm.
Meaning, meron kang lifetime stats ba?
Ah.
May lifetime numbers ka that increases, decreases, that is becoming better, that's
Mhm.
becoming worse because of the way you play. So nagiging objective na ang pagiging pag sinabi ko, "Uy, magaling ka ba?"
Mhm.
Magaling ka because of the
May numbers
numbers.
to back you up.
Yes. So
Ah,
yun yung
okay.
nangyayari. At the same time, we have a ranking system na.
Mhm.
So kumbaga among the players in the Pinoy Liga platform, pangilan ka ba? So are you number 2,345? You are 2,393? I can actually tell you that. 'Di ba? So
Ah.
that kind of thing, it's the things that you would normally get because there's internet already,
Mm-hmm.
there's social media. It's basically leveraging on the current technology platforms, technology solutions that we now have. Yun yung ginagawa natin.
Okay. So in short, this app, bawa basketball player ka, and you are participating in a league na who uses pinoyliga.com,
Yep.
meron kang parang kang NBA, parang kang si LeBron na kumbaga lahat ng ng mga points mo, lahat ng
Mm,
blocks mo,
mm,
steals,
mm.
lahat ng basketball stats mo are listed there. Tapos alam mo 'yun, yun, it will update every time you
Exactly.
play.
Exactly. Exactly. It's basically being in the same boat as the basketball players of the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the PBA doesn't have this. If you're actually on top on our
Mm-hmm.
platform, basically you could still be better than the ones being experienced by the PBA. Kasi si Pinoy Liga gives you the ability to have all these digital assets for yourself eh. Ibig sabihin, ikaw mismo may digital identity ka na
Mm-hmm.
as a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
'Di ba? Na para bang bawat kibot ko pala bilang basketball player, ano na ako, na natatrack ko na, 'di ba?
Paano kung ano, is it available to yung mga casual lang na bawa, kailangan ba makipag-partner sila sa inyo or bawa meron kaming gusto ko magpaliga dito sa village.
Mm, mm.
Tapos hindi ka namin kilala
Oo.
kunyari.
Mm.
Tapos parang pwede ba kami mag-download diyan tapos kami-kami na lang maglagay ng mga stats namin?
Yes, actually, just recently we have launched our app
Mm-hmm.
sa Google Play Store. So yes, to answer you, bro,
Mm-hmm.
we can have you just download it and create your own league,
Mm-hmm.
digital league through the Pinoy Liga platform.
Mm-hmm.
Kami, even if you don't know us, you just know the platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's as easy as para bang you're creating your own Google Gmail account. It's as
Okay.
easy as that.
Paano
Hindi
yan kung, halimbawa, yung player na gano'n tapos alam mo yun, parang ginagago niya, parang dinadagdagan niya yung points niya. 'Di ba?
ah
So siguro, paano yun?
it's actually it's actually something na contain natin because yung mga league operator ang talagang clients namin eh.
Okay.
It's not the casual player.
Mm.
So kami kasi ang core business ni Pinoy Liga is that we're a software.
Mm.
We're a platform where the technology behind digitalizing the whole
Mm.
basketball experience. Now, ang aming pinaka main clients are the league operators here in the Philippines. So, we understand that there's a very thriving casual recreational basketball space in the Philippines.
Mm.
We understand that basketball is really something big here in the Philippines. That's as clear as day, 'di ba? But how do we take advantage of that love for the game ng
Mm.
mga Pilipino is this is how we're doing it through the digital space ba, by
Mm.
creating the platform na talagang sasampahan ng bawat Pilipino.
Okay. So, ano yung, tanong ko lang, kailan mo siya nagawa at saka bakit? What makes you decide that this platform is needed? Parang gano'n.
There was
Aside from what you've already said.
siguro bro, ang gawin natin is let me backtrack a bit about 4 years ago, no,
Okay.
when I was actually playing. It's actually the playing experience that made me go and realize na parang there's something of a gap here in
Mm.
in Philippine basketball. So
Mm.
sabi ko, if I'm playing here with IFBL, kila Eric Uy, who's my partner for league operation,
Mm.
and then I play also with the Kings of the Court, I play also with the LGR Hoops. Ah, paano ko makikita na yung stats ko mapagtatagpi-tagpi ko?
Mm.
Is it maggagawa ba ako ng Excel file tapos ita-track down ko? There has to
Hmm.
be something better than this.
Mm.
So sabi ko, paano kaya
Google
yung
Docs,
oo,
gano'n,
kung
ba?
baga kailangan ko pa ba Google Docs? So is it any better than the one that we're currently having, which is yung pen and paper? Sabi ko, there
Mm-mm.
has to be something eh. Kasi
Mm-mm.
everything's being done through the app already. So,
Mm-mm.
there has to be something.
Mm-mm.
So, I understand that there were current technologies there, but
Mm-mm.
how do we Philippinize it? Yun yung
Okay.
aking sabi ko, how do we make it so appealing to the Philippine basketball market that it's gonna be different than kung ano yung nakikita nila outside the country, 'di ba? Kasi there's FIBA live stats eh,
Mm-mm.
which is yung bang outside the country in development. There has to be something. So that is when I came up with an idea that baka mamaya pwedeng kami na yung gumawa nito. Tayo na gumawa nito dito sa Pilipinas kasi tayo naman yung nakakaintindi.
Mm.
Tayo yung may pulso sa kung ano yung gusto natin about basketball eh. Then later on, pwede nating gawin yan as we move along with other countries. But at this point, there's a certain basketball ano ba? Ecosystem sa Pilipinas eh.
How would you describe that ecosystem ng ng Pinoy basketball?
Well, the ecosystem here in Philippine basketball, it's uniquely Filipino, no.
Mm-mm.
Siguro
How?
the biggest differentiator diyan would be yung mga quotient. Yan, 'di ba? Para yung mga
Quotient?
yeah, there's certain parlance kasi to Philippine basketball eh.
Mm-mm.
There's the back shoot, there's the
Okay, okay,
so
okay,
if
okay.
you're really a basketball player, you would begin to understand that there's a certain parlance
Mm-mm.
to Philippine basketball na kung naglalaro ka talaga, oo nga no, talagang Pinoy basketball 'yan.
Oh,
Na
big shoot.
kumbaga na parang na kumbaga may sariling lingwahe ang Philippine basketball eh. So
Oh.
paano ko mailalagay yan sa isang platform? Paano ko
Mm-mm.
mailalagay yan sa isang bagay na nagsasabing,
Naiintindihan nung nanonood
oo,
na, Pinoy ito. Pinoy gumawa nito,
Pinoy
gano'n.
gumawa nito. Kasi hindi pa pwedeng maintindihan nila yung isang bagay na galing sa labas na kumbaga galing sa Europa, galing sa Asia, galing sa Australia, and then i-apply mo dito. 'Di ba? Parang hindi siya completely magiging tawag ko nga doon palatable. Yung bang hindi siya madadigest ng Pilipino kung
Mm-mm.
hindi siya aayon dun sa kung ano yung current state ng Pilipinas. Kumbaga sabi ko nga, Pinoy Liga kasi Pinoy Liga. How do you define Pinoy Liga? It's as defined as adobo eh. Ligang
Adobo.
Pinoy Liga. So parang pagbali-baliktarin ko para maiintindihan ko pa rin eh. Eh alam mo
Mm.
naman ang Pilipino, kapatid.
Mm-mm.
It's about yung mga paliga kasi ako lumaki ako yung mga interbarangay, yung mga
Oo.
intervillage, yung mga ako naalala ko nga nung panahon na unang liga ko. Hindi ko pa umi-score noon tapos umiiyak ako kasi mga 7 years old ako, hindi ako pinasok ng coach eh. So, but it was during the time na nauna ko napanood si Jowo at saka sila Chito Loizaga noong 1986. So, can you imagine? Parang sabi ko, gusto yun yung unang panahon talaga ng Hinebra. Sila
Mm-mm.
Billy Ray Bates, sila Michael Hackett na para tapos nagliga ako tapos hindi ako napasok. So the heartaches that I felt during that time, it's still with me.
Mm-mm.
But that's because, I have this passion for the game na
Mm-mm.
talagang it's like it was only yesterday. So
Wow.
parang ganun talaga siya. So
Mm.
nagre-resonate sa akin yung ganung experience. So it's not just me.
Mm-mm.
So you have to count so many people also that's actually having that same experience, 'di ba? Na that there's a lot of backstories to their basketball experience. And how do I make sure that in this day and age, we take advantage. We make sure na kumbaga advanced na rin tayo in the same
Mm.
way. But at the same time, marrying it with being Pinoy,
Yeah.
'di
Well,
ba?
definitely sa lahat ng mga magtotropa, yung paglalaro niyo ng basketball is one of the activities that would surely make you bond. 'Di ba?
Yes, agree.
Kahit ano yung skill level nyo, kasi pag may tropa parang yung laro ko, yung mga laro mo tatandaan mo pa rin eh. Your best games na alam mo yun, tandang-tanda ko pa yung game na nung high school ako, pinaka mataas yung points ko at saka kilala ko lahat ng mga napalpalan ko.
Exactly.
'Di ba?
That's
Sabi ka, napalpalan ko na yan, 'di ba?
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Yun nga yung ano, yun nga yung tinitingnan natin na para bang same shared experience, 'di ba?
Mm.
Ng mga Pilipino that lumaki tayo kay Sunny Jaworski, nagbinata tayo na nakikita mo yung Alaska team na nag-Grand Slam, sila Jojo
Oo.
Lastimosa,
Steam cone.
sila Tim Cone. We share the same
Johnny Reb.
experience. It's not gonna be something that you could actually talk to someone else outside the country and tell them, and they could share the same experience in the same way na sila naman meron din silang sarili nilang kultura about basketball,
Oo nga.
about shared experience amongst themselves. So we have to make sure that tayo rin mismo meron din doon.
Maiba naman tayo, no? About basketball, Pinoy basketball in particular. Bakit kaya sa dinami-dami ng sports, probably there are lots of sports na inintroduce nung, especially ng Amerika, nung
Mm.
panahon the alam mo yun, na pwede nating mahalin. Bakit kaya basketball ang pinakang parang almost national sport na natin yun kung tutuusin.
Actually, honestly, I've been asking the same thing sa sarili ko about basketball.
Not football, not, di
Mm,
ba?
but it really talks about siguro yung ano na yung I guess nasa kultura na natin, nasa history na natin, Kaloy-Loy
Mm.
Saga, and then you talk about the 70s when the PBA started, and
Mm.
then during that time talagang
Yung
away yan
rivalry, di ba?
rivalry talaga yan, yung Toyota Crispa, yan yung ano. And my father is a very big Toyota fan. So, may lola ko naman Crispa fan. So, yung mga ganung bagay, I think it just adds up to the well, not to nostalgia, but to
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 the
to
culture,
to the
culture building.
culture, to the culture building of Philippine basketball. It's actually, it has a life in it by itself eh.
Mm.
Yung history ng Philippine basketball. In fact, I think si Ralph Bartolome, yung
Mm.
gumawa yata, he had that Pacific Rim, and
Mm.
he was really talking about Philippine basketball, and siguro yung naka-highlight doon yung the fact that in every street corner you would see a basketball
Oh, mga
ring,
makeshift
the
na ano, di ba?
makeshift, 'di ba? That you know it creates now that kind of vibe, 'di ba?
Mm.
Na na bit natin as a nation, as a basketball crazy nation. Nakakatuwa talaga. It's really mind-blowing for Filipinos to really love the game.
Oh. At saka iba, ewan ko ha, iba rin talaga yung ah, it's yung rivalry, pag may rivalry at saka yung camaraderie that will develop amongst your team kasi
Mm.
I
Mm.
remember back when sa probinsya kasi ako
Okay.
hanggang high school probinsyano ako eh.
Okay.
So meron kaming during that time yung barangay namin medyo nagkatampuhan. So
Okay.
kasi syempre sa election parang
Okay,
yung
okay.
isang part parang walang nanalo dun sa mga kandidato nila, parang tatampo. Tapos ang naka ano no, naka parang I think it mended the rift a little bit nung
Mm.
nagkaroon ng mga liga doon sa barangay. Tapos
Mm.
parang parang kasi parang merged yung team eh. So
Okay.
yung ibang nandoon
Mm.
ka-team namin bigla tapos
Okay.
bigla okay. So, okay naman pala tong mga to.
Okay, okay.
Ayun. Tapos
May
yun nga with your friends, lahat ng friends mo na siguro konti lang yung mga hindi mga tropang hindi nag-basketball, no?
Oo nga eh. Actually, pag medyo pag hindi ka nag-basketball, medyo OP ka eh.
Oo, 'di ba?
Parang tipong medyo ano na eh, para bang sabi nga nila parang paano ba ano sport mo? 'Di ba?
Oo
Parang
nga eh.
ganun yung tatanungin sa iyo eh.
Although meron din talagang hindi nagba-basketball, pero I'm sure parang they'd be part of a group na I'd assume lang
Oo nga eh.
na
So,
nagba-basketball tapos sila yung ay di ako naglalaro.
So parang maano ka eh, ma-add man out ka eh. So ano
Mm.
ikaw maghihintay ng banam ng bag ng mga barkada mo habang nagba-basketball sila. Ano
Oo.
gagawin mo? 'Di ba? Magte-text ka na lang, 'di ba? So parang imposible na parang hindi mo pinagdaanan yung phase na yun. Eh.
Yeah.
And siguro naman bro, that's the reason why we apart from the passion for the
Mm.
game, it's really about from a business perspective naman.
Oh.
I think it's a very nice starting point for Pinoy Liga to start with basketball
Mm-hmm.
for its digitalization. The good thing about us is, kumbaga, sabi ko nga sa everyone that I talk to, is that our biggest asset, Pinoy Liga, is the name itself.
Mm-hmm.
Pinoy Liga eh. So
Liga.
I could actually go to Pinoy Liga Tennis and
Yes.
Pinoy Liga Basketball won't mind.
Mm.
Pinoy Liga Football, Pinoy Liga
Volleyball.
Volleyball, your
Mm.
jiu-jitsu,
Mm.
kapatid, 'di ba? So I could do so many things simply because the name
It's Liga.
oo, is encompassing eh.
Oo nga.
'Di ba?
Oo nga.
So parang an sa akin, kumbaga, it kung tatanungin mo kami ngayon, bro, ang Pinoy Liga ba is just basketball? I'll tell you honestly, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But basketball is the best starting point for us.
Oo.
'Di ba?
Well, it's the most popular, definitely,
'Di
by
ba?
a large stretch, di
'Di
ba?
ba? So ang ibig sabihin nun, by gaining ground through the biggest stretch,
Mm-hmm.
it gives us a lot of, leeway, and then, give us a lot of flexibility para pumunta na rin sa ibang sports. Like right now, we're talking to tennis, we're talking to football, we're
Mm-hmm.
looking at volleyball. But it's gonna take time. It's gonna make sure we're gonna make sure that the things that's good and bad with the experience with basketball are documented, and
Mm-hmm.
make sure na, kumbaga, na-execute mo yung mga tama,
Mm-hmm.
tapos na-weed out mo yung mali.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that kind of execution that's happening.
So right now, you're still parang, how long have you, since you've started the Pinoy Liga?
Honestly, it's been running around for 4 years. Eh.
4 years.
4 years from the time I first thought about it
Mm-hmm.
until but to be honest with you, it's 2017 that we started developing it. Eh.
Okay.
So it started by really with me taking a chance on my co-founder, si
Mm-hmm.
Roger, and making sure na, kumbaga, aligned kami in terms of how we're gonna push this together.
Approach. Mm-hmm.
Kasi siguro i-memory ko na rin, bro, yung discussion about being a tech startup and
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship, kasi it's a mix of of finding the right person. Kumbaga, pare, para bang kung magpapakasal ka, 'di ba? Gusto mo yung
Oo.
talagang someone that you will there would be fights, there
Mm-hmm.
would be disagreements and all of these things. But you would have to find someone that could complement you eh.
Mm-hmm.
And now in the case of basketball, no, not just basketball but being a tech startup, it's also the same thing. It's never far from marriage eh.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to look at someone
Mm-hmm.
who's gonna be complimenting you, who's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be supporting you, who shares the same
Mm-hmm.
vision. So these types of things, and I found that in 2017.
So parang you were searching pa for the right partner, and
Mm.
kumbaga,
So I
okay.
went through the motions of having someone, it didn't work out, and then
Mm.
para ba girlfriend, tapos
Oo nga.
you found the right one. So I did the same dance,
Mm.
kumbaga. So that was 2017.
Mm.
So it took us a while to develop.
Mm.
So kasi it's part of the whole process eh, the process of developing the platform.
Yeah.
So and I'm very very glad and then very thankful dun sa mga sumuporta sa amin from the very start. In fact, siguro I name a few, si Eric Uy, who's
Mm.
my partner now sa logistics for the basketball leagues that I handle.
How many ilan na yung team members ng Pinoy Liga right
Right
now?
now it's a very lean startup. It's not no, in this day and age, bro. Ang maganda kasi is that internet has become a big game changer.
Yeah.
A big game changer in terms of creating a company.
Mhm.
In terms of creating a manpower pool for yourself, because with internet, first things first is that, kumbaga, it doesn't require you to be in the same office space to work together eh.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest difference of having the internet eh.
Mm.
So in terms of co-working
Mm.
so kumbaga, so it doesn't necessarily mean that for us to create a big platform, it has to be a pool of 300 people working at the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
'Diba? So it's a very lean startup. It's around 12 people, and mostly it's on the dev side. So I have a few who's on the admin side, but truth of the matter is I'm the one salesperson eh. So kumbaga,
Mm.
ako yung number one salesperson dito. So I have to be very efficient.
Oo.
Hindi ako pwede na gumalaw ng parang paunti-unti lang, pautay-utay lang. So, yung mga ganung bagay.
Yeah. So since you've mentioned the about sale, so how did you approach? How did you even present the idea? Because for me, it's I would imagine there would be some
Mm.
league tawag doon, operators
Mm.
who would be old fashioned. Parang, oh,
Okay.
ano yan? Bakit ano gagawin mong digitized?
Ah,
Anong pinagsasabi mo? Benny ha?
agree,
Parang
agree,
ganun.
agree.
So may mga ganun ba nangyari or what? Hindi naman.
Marami.
Oh,
Actually, marami. Honestly, there were so many, kasi ako pare, no, I'll share with you my experience. No? Ako kasi, kailan ba ako nagsimula magbenta? Year 1999. Oh, 20 years na rin pala. So, I'm 20 years selling. So, ibig sabihin, ako kasi is, ahente ba?
wow.
Salesman ako eh. So,
Nang
kumbaga,
ano?
marami. So, salesman ako. Nagsimula ako, salesman ako ng papel.
Papel.
Papel, pare. So,
Paano yun? Paano yun?
ng bond paper, bro. Ng coupon bond. So,
Talaga?
oo, nagbenta ako ng ng mga coupon band. Pero ano yan, pare,
Ano
yung
yan?
mga
Corona ba yan?
mga noong time na yon, yung mga ano yan, pare, doon ko nga nalaman na meron mga grade yung papel na yan eh. But I was
Ay,
working with a company called Bookhaven.
okay.
Yung Bookhaven na yan is a sister company of this company called Ubix.
Okay.
So yung Ubix yung yung mga copier machines ng time na
Okay.
yon. So I started out selling yung mga ganon. So can you imagine selling paper, you know?
Mm.
So it has to be knock on door yan eh.
Talaga? Ang
Mm.
paper?
Binebenta ko yan. Binebenta yung mga coupon band sa mga companies.
I
So
see, I see, I
you
see.
have to sell it to the companies eh. So
Kala ko dun sa mobile bike.
hindi, hindi,
Okay,
hindi.
okay. Okay, okay.
So ano, nagbebenta ako sa mga kumpanya. So nangyari diyan was um ang acumen ko is more about kumbaga, hindi bibili to, hindi bibili to, hindi bibili to, tapos another 10, another 15 na hindi bibili. So,
Okay.
ibig sabihin, nasanay ako dun sa mentalidad ng pagbebenta ng piso-piso. Yung bang tipong katok, katok, katok.
Okay.
Kasi pagkatapos no, nagbenta rin ako ng telepono. So, yung mga
Telepono.
telepono. So, yung mga tipong telephone pare,
Mm.
yung telepono dati.
Mm.
Yan, 'di ba? So, sa Caloocan ako nagsimula magbenta niyan. So, for a company called Eastern Telecoms naman. So, turns out yung mga ganong acumen is something na nakatulong sa akin.
Mm.
So, it turns out that kind of acumen was the one that created the most impact sa buhay ko as an entrepreneur, because it gave me the ability na para bang gawin yung bagay na kahit anong mangyari bebenta ko.
Mm.
So I applied the same thing eh.
Mm.
So siguro no, going a bit about entrepreneurship, it's really about hustling, it's really about going ground, it's really all about making sure that kukunin mo yung bentang yung whatever it takes.
Mm.
So if I'm gonna apply that same principle dun sa kung paano ko ginawa si Pinoy League, it's the same thing. So ang ginawa ko sa kanya was that, nag-isa-isa ako, nag-one-one selling ako sa lahat ng mga league operators ba.
Okay.
And I encountered a whole lot of bad, hindi naman bad experience, but I encountered a whole lot
Challenges.
of no's
Okay.
before I got my one yes, and then
Mm.
another 10, 15 no's. And then shout out nga pala to Pat Lapid. Hi Pat,
No.
kumusta ka? Magtanong ka naman bro. Wag lang yung mga tungkol sa liga mo. Magtanong ka about digital basketball.
Okay, okay.
So, ayan. Hi Pat. Hi Cholo, nakikita kita. Wag ka mag-lurk. So, kita-kita dyan. Magtanong ka rin.
Okay.
So, it's about that, So, it's about, getting all the no's first before you get the yes, eh. So, it's about, that's selling, eh. So, Nung time na yun, wala masyadong naniniwala because they haven't seen the ano eh. So the proof is in the eating, kumbaga. 'Di ba?
Oo.
So wala pa nakakakain ng produkto ko eh. So talagang
Mm.
wala pa naniniwala.
Wala pang
So
proof of concept kumbaga parang
exactly.
ganyan,
So walang
okey.
POC nung time na yun. So
Mm,
I had to prove my worth. Eh.
mm,
So I have to tell them that brother, kaya ito magagawa ko sa iyo. Alam ko
mm,
ganito 'yan, ganyan ganyan. So I acknowledge some of the few who helped, I
mm,
Cholo of KOTC pare always acknowledge you.
mm,
So and then si Eric of course and then this league called YBC in Makati who's the first that gave me the chance to test. Kasi importante for software yung bang magkaroon ka ng isang environment for testing eh. So that's a test environment.
okey.
What others don't know is that before a software is launched, it
Mm,
has to be tested, it has
mm,
to be QA'd, it has to be brute tested. So these types of things others don't understand eh. Para
mm,
ba gusto ko lang gamitin tong app na to, itong Uber na to, itong ganito na to, itong
mm,
Grab na to na maayos at walang nangyayari. But at the back end of that is the whole scenario, the whole gamut of scenarios that can happen eh.
mm.
It has to be tested one by one.
So meron kang sino yung parang kumbaga parang naging, ah, sabihin na lang nating tumulong sa'yo na i-test yung produkto?
And again, I acknowledge that it was Cholo during that time.
Mm,
Cholo, ikaw na naman.
oo.
So ng KOTC who was the first
KOTC is what? Anong ibig sabihin KOTC?
Kings of the Court. O yan, may
Okey.
libre ka na naman na ano ah. So
Okey.
he gave me yung isang liga niya. He told me, sige, do everything that you want there,
Mm.
it's fine, So, I
Wala
think
namang mawawala, 'di
wala
ba?
namang
Wala
mawawala
mawawala
eh.
sa kanya
So,
'pag
I'm happy to tell now that Cholo is part of the platform already. So,
mm,
those types of things, it started out na parang talagang, there's a whole lot of hesitation that comes in. It's really about, um, makakabuti ba yan?
mm,
Magkano ba yan? There's a whole lot of reservation and that's just valid,
mm,
it's really hindi siya hindi ko naman kasi ako 'pag nagbebenta rin ako, hindi ako yung lumalayo dun sa tanong, 'di
what do
ba?
you mean tanong?
Ibig sabihin, there's sa selling kasi, and
Mm,
it also applies with entrepreneurship, is the fact that, there would be a lot of probing questions eh.
okey.
There would be a lot of chance for you na makipag-interact sa kliyente mo, but your clients would have so many questions because at the end of the day, they would always cover for what would be beneficial for them.
Yeah, of course, oo.
So yun kasi that's just the way the world works,
Mm,
So ikaw, ako naman during that time I wasn't afraid to actually tell you that these are limitations, but these are the possibilities,
yeah.
that this is just a matter of betting on us, that this is just a matter of making sure that you begin to see that this is the trend, that this is what's happening with the world now,
Mm,
that if you don't ride on this, then you might probably be one of the last.
oo.
So parang nagkakaroon ngayon ako ng ganong klaseng narrative na para
Okey.
bang I think this is the technology that need to bet on. Parang
Hmm.
ganon. Parang ganon.
Oo, parang kumbaga parang maganda yung nauna ka na, 'di ba?
Okay.
Parang there's an advantage when you're first
Agree.
to adapt or like yun nga, to be on board with something. Kasi 'pag, you're just, makikisali ka lang afterwards now that it's, popular, parang
Agree.
bandwagoner ka nga, parang katulad ng
Uh,
sinabi ko kanina, 'di ba?
agree. So para bang it's not it's agree no. There's yung bandwagoner na yan
May kumbaga may incentive, na parang may risk din siguro that parang, okay, this is, parang bagong konsepto.
Mm.
If it doesn't work out, I think low risk lang naman yun, 'di ba?
Yeah,
It's a very low risk.
at
Okay,
the
so what? 'Di ba
yeah,
hindi umubra?
at the end of the day kasi, kumbaga with entrepreneurship again ano,
Mm.
I go kumbaga mag-ano ako bro eh, I go in and out on the discussion between the basketball platform and entrepreneurship.
Mm.
But with entrepreneurship ano, it's about betting.
Mm.
It's a gamble. It's a
Mm.
gamble every time. Like with what I did,
Mm.
it was a gamble on my part. That there's a lot of investment. To
Mm.
be honest,
Oh,
in terms of the platform.
what is your background on entrepreneurship?
'Cause 7 years ago, after I retired from corporate work.
Mhm.
So I was telling you that I was selling papers,
Mhm.
but at the same time I also sold internet bandwidth. So with companies like Eastern Telecom, Bayantel, Digitel. So yun yung background ko.
Okay.
So nagbebenta talaga ako ng internet bandwidth. But during 2012, I was able to retire.
Mhm.
Kumbaga due to some circumstances, I was ano ba, abruptly retired kasi I was so honest to put in dun sa aking pre-employment employment record that I was
Pre-employment.
yung pre-employment na I was under medication for high blood. So hindi nila ako kinuha. So that was the real story. That's a true story. So kumbaga I was to jump into this company. But I was so honest enough to put in dun sa aking pre-employment na I was medicating for high blood. So anong nangyari noon, sabi nila sa akin, kasi I was in already. Sabi nila, "Oh, teka lang. Um wag na muna." So sabing gano'n. So
Ganon.
they have to rescind the offer to me. So it was during the time that that I recently got married. So but it was a risk on my part. So I go back to the fact that entrepreneurship is a risk because during that time, ang ginawa ko, sabi ko sa wife ko, my newly minted Mrs. Benitez,
Mhm.
"Hi Han, kamusta?"
Ay.
So so ang nangyari was, sabi ko, I have to take a leap of faith. So I was doing entrepreneurship while she was doing her corporate work. Sabi ko, tatayo ako ng kumpanya. Sabi ko
Okay.
gano'n. So, without actually thinking kung ano yung magiging muhon ng kumpanyang yun, ano ba yung magiging itsura, ano ba magiging services ko, parang, but sabi ko, I have to do something. So,
Okay.
it was the risk that I took. So, ang nangyari doon, I created an entity called Prime Edge Marketing Consultancy.
Okay.
So
So was that your first business?
that was my first business. Still is my
Okay.
business. Still
Okay.
is my business. So it's a services company that provides consulting, sales and marketing training. It's resellership. So it's a mix of the things that I'm interested on. So nangyari was that was 2012. Ginawa ko siya. So but it took a while before talaga nag-take off siya. Maybe it took me 2 years.
Mm.
And kumbaga sabi ko nga, I'm one of the few that, I'm very proud of this, that, umasa ako sa asawa ko for that
2
2 years.
years.
I,
Wow.
we've been very candid about it. Because
Mm.
that's how marriage works,
Mm.
yung hilahan kayo paakyat, di
Mm.
ba? That, that you complement each other.
Well,
So,
that's also one thing that about business. Para the first 2 years is inevitably, most of the time talaga, you're gonna lose money,
oh
'di ba?
yeah,
You're gonna lose money on the first 2 to 3 years,
agree,
and then you're
agree.
gonna break even, and then you're gonna fly. Para ganun.
Agree. So I had the same experience.
Mhm.
So it wasn't really a bed of roses for me during that time. So it took me a while before ko nakuha yung sweet spot ko, and then you know so the whole point is that it took it took a leap of faith for me to actually enjoy the privileges of entrepreneurship that
Mhm.
I'm getting now. So ano nga ba yon? So pare, oy, entrepreneur ka. So ganyan sinasabi sa akin. Ba, ang galing-galing mo. But truth of the matter is, pare, it's a whole lot of work. Ibig sabihin pare you work 24/7.
Mhm.
It's not as if pare pag uy may home office ka, wow, grabe. It's not that because yung pagkakaroon mo ng home office also is is a double-edged sword yan eh.
Totoo, totoo.
Kasi it's also kakatingin ka magtrabaho naman.
Mm.
'Di ba? So, oh, okay yan pare kahit naka-shorts ka lang, nakahubad ka lang, nakakapagtrabaho, sure. That's one part pero at the end of the day, iba rin pala yung demands ng work kasi talagang dahil very convenient sa yung lugar, mas
Mm.
kumbaga mas parang ay bubugbugin ko yung sarili ko ng trabaho. So there
Mm.
are those types of demands also. So, it's a double-edged sword, but
Mm.
you learn to also enjoy the privileges like, if you want to take 1 week off of really just playing basketball and just being with yourself, then you could actually get that,
Mm.
'di ba? So it's not the same thing, 'di ba? So yung mga ganung bagay,
Mm.
yung mga ganung
Ibang
bagay.
klaseng time management ang involved when you're parang paghawak mo yung oras mo 'di ba?
Oo.
Compared to meron kang designated time every day na you're supposed to be working, 'di ba? Parang 'di
Yes,
ba?
oo.
Ganun.
At the end of the day pare wala akong amo, 'di ba?
Mm.
And then ang palagi kong sinasabi sa sarili ko, buntot ko, hila ko, eh.
Okay.
So it's the whole point of entrepreneurship is buntot mo, hila mo.
Mm.
So you will not, if you don't produce, you don't get anything. So again, so it's a whole slew of the things that I had before, sabi ko nga uulit-ulitin ko, nagbenta ako ng papel, nagbenta
Mm.
ako ng telepono, ng ganito ganyan. But yung acumen ko of yung katok-katok,
Mm.
tapos kuha ka ng benta 49 times walang bumili sa'yo, yung pang 50 binilin ka,
Mm.
pero uulit ka uli ng prosesong yon.
Mm.
Kasi I enjoy that eh.
Talaga?
I enjoy that because
Why?
you get a lot of people na nakikilala mo.
Mm.
And ako kasi pare, yung bang my whole point on all of this is that you know, you'll never know when you will be able to engage with that person.
Okay.
So you always keep the door open. Eh.
So basically, I suppose because of that experience, parang it honed your skills to inevitably parang talking to people, 'di ba? It
Yes.
became a lot easier for you,
Oh,
'di ba?
agree, pare. At the same time, pare, you know what guided me through all of those times was my love for reading.
Reading? How is it
Uh,
connected?
Kasi pare, leaders are readers.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's pare. I'll be honest with you. There wouldn't be anyone who can lead that wasn't able to be a voracious reader.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, then probably you'll be learning from the things of the world that you see experiential, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. I'm not saying it's not,
Yeah.
but there would always be those snippets of information that you could only learn with you, the book,
Yeah.
and by yourself. It's
Yes.
it's 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 an experience that you will always have to make between you and the book
Mm.
and all of the learnings that you're gonna get.
Parang yun yung isang narinig ko ba, parang I've read about it
Mm.
or
Yeah.
watch about it. Parang in your entire lifetime, your entire life would not be enough to learn everything. To
Okay.
learn everything by yourself, 'di ba?
Correct.
Kasi
Correct.
it's not enough eh. Pero ang solution doon is a lot of people had different people, lahat tayo may kanya-kanyang experiences, and yung mga experience nung iba, they already published it in the book.
I
And
agree.
so
Oh,
babasahin mo na lang, 'di ba? You
agree.
don't
Agree.
need to live that experience to learn what they learned. So you can just learn by reading
Mm. Mm.
based from their experience. So in return, 'di ba, parang yung hindi mo na kailangan pagdaanan yung ano eh, kasi
Agree.
para katulad ng pagba-basketball.
Mm.
Kung magaling ka na mag-basketball, tapos parang gusto mo mag-volleyball,
Mm.
parang it's
Mm.
a new set of
Exactly.
skills na kailangan mong i-hone,
Mm.
'di ba?
Mm.
So
Mm.
it's the same thing as parang kung if you read about let's say math,
Mm.
'di ba?
Yeah. Oo.
So, millennia yung it took millennia para to develop and learn for man to learn about yung mga math, yung mga
Mm.
yung mga calculus, mga ganyan. Pero
Mm.
you can just read it, an entire book about those things, those theories,
Mm.
and then you don't have to go through the millennia.
Agree.
Di ba?
In fact, alam niyo, there's one person that I really really admire these days, and it's not John Maxwell.
Sino?
Kasi ganito yan no. There was a time when internet wasn't as dynamic as now. That I was really into John Maxwell. So,
Mhm.
so John Maxwell was my hero. Well, still is my hero. Because of the kind of output that you're getting from reading from him. Eh.
Mhm.
But you know why? Because of the internet and social media, there's new guy that replaced him in my life. Eh. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. So
Yeah, si Gary
Si
V.
Gary
Gary
V.
V.
So si Gary
Okay.
V is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
nonsense guy who really really curses, but you know he makes lot of sense. Eh. So para bang sabi ko, this is the guy that in this day and age, you would have to you have to kumbaga para bang there's this word para bang you could relate yourself
Oo,
to, 'di
oo.
ba? So sabi ko, this guy, no nonsense.
Mm.
This guy, really really talks his mind and
Mm.
really doesn't give a shit about
Mm.
anything. But at the end of the day, he knows what's important to his life. Eh.
Yeah.
So these types of things, pare, in this day and age, you will have to be able to digest and decipher what's gonna be good for yourself. Eh. Kasi ang bilis na information eh.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Ang bato ng information sa would be now it's there but tomorrow or maybe a few hours from now it's not gonna be as relevant as you thought it was.
Oo nga.
So ang mangyayari ngayon yan is that anong gagawin ko sa information na to? Stale na to. 'Di ba?
Oo nga, no?
'Di ba, nagiging gano'n na tayo. In
Mm.
fact, before there were so many ano ba, yung mga talagang snooty guys na mga kakilala ko, yung tali-talino nitong mama 'to, daming alam.
Mm.
'Di ba? Pero hindi niya sinasabi kasi nasa utak niya lang.
Okay.
Ngayon pare, yung alam nung mamang yon, pare, doble triplehin mo pa yung alam nung isang 15-year-old.
Oo nga,
You know
no?
why?
Mm.
There's one person who's to blame for this.
Who?
Google.
Ah,
So,
oo.
'di ba? So,
Actually.
'di ba? So if you think of it from the perspective of of that,
Actually,
nandun siya
you
eh.
can consider it as a second brain eh. Kasi if you don't know, you have internet connection,
Mm.
then just go there.
Yes,
Diba, parang meron kang second hard drive na, alam mo yun,
agree.
nandun. Tapos, unlimited. Basically, everything that, maybe not everything, at
Mm.
least most of what humans have learned,
Mm.
even lahat ng mga, pati yung mga bullshit na pati mga fake, di ba? Nandun na
Agree.
lahat yun.
Agree.
So, basically, every kind of information is already available in your fingertips.
Exactly. So ang nangyayari nga ngayon is that pag nandiyan na sa'yo, ako kung palagi yung sinasabi, the very reason why I don't shy away from giving information, and I'm not so selfish in giving
Mm-hmm.
my own peace of mind and
Mm-hmm.
information is because I understand that if I give it to you, there's always a lot of processing that needs to happen first before you apply it. Eh. So
True.
so so the point
True.
my point is, even if I tell you that with the so many information that's in front of you, the one thing that's gonna be applicable would be the one that you will apply.
Yeah,
'Di ba?
also.
So 'di ba, pag inisip mo mabuti, sige, okay lang naman na sabihin ko sa'yo, but
Mm.
at the end of the day, how will you be able to use the information that I provided you? At the same time, applying the other information that you've actually captured already.
Yeah, and
So,
also, people procrastinate din eh. 'Di ba?
oo,
Yung ang ibang ideas mo, parang, puta, ang tagal ko nang gustong gawin ito.
'di ba?
Tapos parang, pag sinabi ko ba dito, ito mas masipag to.
'Di ba?
Parang,
So at the end of the day, pare, it's all about it's all about you as a person, what will you act on. At
mm,
the end of the day, pare, with all the information that you have in front of you, again, I'm talking from an entrepreneur point of view, no, from my entrepreneurship hat,
oo.
is that, pare, it's all about execution.
Yeah.
It's not about you having all the information and then, uy, okay ako, matalino ako, ang dami ko information eh. Pero at the end of the day, in-execute mo ba?
And
'Di ba?
also the difference how you execute. 'Di ba?
Oo.
It's also a factor. 'Di ba?
Mm.
Let's say this podcast, parang okay, I teach I say, kumbaga, sasabihin ko lahat kasi hindi naman ako madamot sa information, no.
Yeah.
Oh, paano gawin tong podcast?
Mm.
Okay, if you ask me,
Mm.
if you're willing to listen, I'm gonna tell you everything.
Agree.
'Di
Agree.
ba?
Agree.
Para
Agree.
does that mean gagawa ka rin ng podcast mo? Well, even if you do, then good, 'di ba? Mas madami tayong podcasters, mas makikilala ang podcasting sa Pilipinas,
Agree.
'di ba? And also, it doesn't iba naman yung kultura ng podcasting eh. Kasi you can watch a podcast right now. Pag nanood ka ng podcast ito, hindi ibig sabihin nun, hindi mo na mapapanood yung podcast ng iba. Kumbaga, on another time, you watch. Kasi hindi naman araw-araw yung ano ko eh, yung content creation, 'di ba?
Mm.
And the same and vice versa na lang, 'di
Mm.
ba?
Mm.
So we're not really competing,
Agree.
'di ba? Maybe we just want pag nakakita ka ng parang mas maganda, may ginagawa ito. Parang you can just have references of what others are doing.
Mm.
Pero at the end of the day, you're gonna sell yourself. It's gonna be the audience who would decide if they want to watch you or not.
Agree.
'Di ba? And that would depend on how you present your show. 'Di ba? So even if I tell you, oh, you need the camera na ganyan, you need this kind of program, you need microphones, tapos gitong gawin mo sa audio. Pero syempre yung mga aesthetics, 'di ba pa?
Mm.
Hindi lahat kasi makukuha 'yon,
At
parang
the
ganun.
end of the day, you cannot fake it. Eh. At the
Oo.
end of the day, it's all about you executing, you putting in your life's work,
Mm.
you putting in your own version of it.
Mm.
That will matter. It's not about, kumbaga, in this day and age of so many things you could copy. But
Mm.
what would matter would be your collective knowledge, your collective experience, you applying it, and then you having all the work ethic to actually create all of those things on a daily basis and making it better than it was yesterday. So it's really about ano eh, it you could have all the information. Kaya
Yeah.
nga sabi ko, I go back to the fact, bro, that I'm not so selfish with the information that I know.
Mm.
Because I could push it out. I only live once eh. So
Mm.
I could give it to you liberally.
Mm.
Wala akong I will never hold back.
Mhm.
But I hope that you execute. 'Di ba? Because I'm executing.
Mm.
So kumbaga,
More power to you, kumbaga.
oo, 'di ba? Ang sa akin kasi is that I could give you all the information that you want.
Mhm.
From me, I will never keep any secrets because again, I go back to the fact that I only live once,
Mm.
'di ba? But I hope that with the information that I've given you, you execute so that you could make yourself a better living,
Mm.
better person.
At least make use of that
Oh,
and
you may
make it improve your life.
yeah,
Parang ganun.
make the world a better place, 'di ba? So
Mm.
I don't know what your life's worth is though, but
Mm.
it has to be that, it has to have something of significance already.
Yeah.
So again, going back, if we go and look at how things are happening now in the world with social media, with internet, with all of these things, information is freely given and actually received,
Mhm.
but it's always going to be about the person. It's always going to be how the person executes the type of information that is given to him, that is actually accessible to him.
Yeah.
'Di ba? It's always going to be that. Hindi ako lalayo eh, because it's simple that way.
Okay.
It's the simplicity of everything is in the fact that, brother, if you're not executing, you're not really doing anything.
Oo nga, no? Kumbaga,
So,
parang if you're kumbaga if you kung hindi mo natapos yung let's say apply ko na lang for me as an artist.
mm,
If you're just drawing, you're just doodling and
mm,
hanggang whip ka lang, WIP, work in
mm,
progress.
mm,
Parang construction lines ka lang,
mm,
tapos yung mga pinlat mo pa lang yung, naka-flat pa lang yung kulay, hindi pa
mm,
na-render.
mm.
Then, hindi mo pa tapos yun. Wala ka pang nagagawa.
Exactly.
'Di ba? Kasi hindi mo pwede, it's not something that you can hang
Mm,
on kasi kung you can argue na
mm,
tapos na yan, 'di ba? Pero you know to yourself that hindi ka pa tapos.
agree.
'Di ba? Parang
Mm,
wala ka pang natatapos until nakita mo na na okay katulad niyan naka-print na tapos nakita mo na na-post mo na
Mm,
siya
mm, mm.
na alam mo sa sarili mo na ganyan na talaga yan. 'Di
Exactly.
ba? Or nakapag-sale ka na, you have na-close mo na yung sale, then ibig sabihin nun wala ka pang natatrabaho.
Oo.
Kung wala ka kumbaga nag-ano ka lang,
Um,
nagpapagod ka lang, 'di ba?
um,
Wala pang end, eh.
at yun, ganun yun bro eh. It's ano eh, it's kaya nga ako, I'm a very pragmatic person.
Mhm,
I'm very practical. And in terms of the people that I also interact with,
mhm.
I interact with the people that's doers, the doers.
Do worse, okay.
But if I kumbaga syempre iistimahin din kita pag kinausap kita. So pag kinausap kita pero nakita ko that you're really a talker more than a doer, then I don't want to waste my time with you. So
Okay.
kasi ang sa akin, I think we're not gonna be synergizing on anything because
Hmm,
the world is so big. The world
mm,
has plenty of information and the world is so fast.
mm,
So if you're gonna look at yourself and you're not executing, then brother, it's gonna be you behind me every time because on a daily basis I execute. So so
mm,
so ako pare keyword for me in this day and age execution.
hmm.
Execution. It's really about action items. You have your productivity tools. You have all of these to-do list. But are you executing? Di ba?
How are you able to were you always like that na parang execution driven
Mm,
parang
mm,
parang may
mm.
papatayin eh pero parang ganun parang yung ganun talaga yung mindset mo or did you develop that through the years so parang and how did you kumbaga parang manage to overcome yung pagiging passive.
Mm. Chong, ulitin ko lang, libro.
Libro.
Libro, Brad. It's ano, it's not there's no secret sauce to this eh.
Mm-hmm.
There's no secret sauce.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about you understanding from a strategic perspective that everything that you plan for should be executed within a certain timeline. Then, pare, pag nasa isip mo na pare, it's about execution, then it's gonna be second nature to you.
Okay.
It's kasi pare, there's always gonna be people that will always plan, and these are the type of people that are well planners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you plan. Okay, hindi
Okay.
go ahead. And then you have your little word of planning,
Mm-hmm.
little world of planning, and then that's fine. I
Mm-hmm.
think you're happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? And there's always gonna be the people who's gonna be talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they'd be happy with how their life is doing by talking. But
Mm-hmm.
there's always gonna be the one that's gonna be executing
Mm-hmm.
and doing something. And those types of people would be the one that will be pushing the needle. And
Mm-hmm.
those are the people that's gonna be taking risks. And those are the people that would be gambling. And those are the people that if they gamble enough and they win enough, they'd be actually creating a better world.
Okay.
They'd be actually creating a good enough income for their families and for themselves. 'Di ba?
Mm-hmm.
So it's that ano. It's there's no secret sauce eh.
Mm-hmm.
Well ako,
The secret, basically the secret sauce is just do it. Sabi nga
oo
ng,
naman eh. And sa akin
just
kasi
do it.
ako pare ang sampling ko is 7 years eh. I might not be a John Gokong Wei
Mm-hmm.
or a Henry C
Mm-hmm.
that has, a very wide range.
Mm-hmm.
So the sampling might not be as strong as them.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that I think I have would be the one that's applicable to this day and age,
What?
which is yung recognition mo of how the world is
Changes.
changing and how
Mm-hmm.
the world is presenting itself to you. You see that pare darating ang panahon that others might not understand that technology is driving our world these days, that the technology is the platform. You eat, dito ka na kumukuha sa Grab Food.
Oh, totoo.
Kumuha ka ng taxi, sa Grab ka rin kumuha.
Mm-hmm.
Nag-basketball ka, Pinoy Liga na rin tayo.
Oh. Of
Slide,
course.
my
Of
friend, di ba?
course.
So, di ba, slide ako ng konti doon. So, my point is,
Mm-hmm.
everything is driven by technology. And
Mm.
that technology would dictate, it's dictating the life that you're living now.
Yeah.
And, you cannot escape it. Pare, just tell me a day na pare hindi mo tinignan yung telepono mo and you tell me na wala pare, sasabihin ko sa'yo na sinungaling ka.
Oo nga, totoo.
'Di ba? So, yung punto de vista ko diyan pare is this ano. It's not This is your reality now, and the reality is that it's technology driven. If you cannot manage the technology that's in front of you, you know when to push and pull, when you know uh, when to use the technology and when to not use the technology, when to shut off the technology, then I think you're better managed. You're better prepared to take on what's in this world these days.
Mm-mm.
But if you're really into the old age way of thinking na I don't need technology and
Mm-mm.
this and
No.
that, and then I hope you be happy because
Mm-mm.
the world will revolve without you appreciating the technology.
Mm-mm.
So yun lang yun eh. Again, execution and siguro practical thinking that
Mm-mm.
this is the new reality.
No. How about let's say you are to those people who are mainly just planners and parang ang dami ng idea tapos
Mm.
pero doesn't have couldn't gather the courage just yet to actually execute or at least find somebody who can help him execute
Mm. Mm.
whatever he's planning, no, parang his great idea,
Mm.
'di ba? And make it a reality. How do you parang paano mo itatawid 'yun to
Ah,
the next step?
again it's well, hindi naman tayo perfecto, Brad,
Oo.
so pare madami tayong naging misgivings and
Mm.
the imperfections, but I guess pare siguro it's about pare waking up in the morning
Mhm.
and deciding that this is what I want for myself.
Okay.
It's really about that eh. Hindi, well, ako, pare, I'm basing it from myself. Siguro, if I'm gonna look at it from my experiences, meron kasi mga experiences that dictated the type of work habits that I have now eh.
Like what?
Like pare, yun nga sinasabi ko, again I go back to the pagbebenta ng ganyan eh
Oo,
kasi
oo.
it created a lot of impact for me.
Oh, yes.
So ibig sabihin pare, and then siguro pag dumating ka dun sa punto na walang-wala ka, there was a time I had a car
Mm.
pero I had to sell it,
Mm.
because there are times na ganito. So these are the collective experiences that created an impact on you that you don't want to, from a financial perspective, you don't want to go back.
Mm.
'Di ba? So it becomes a motivator, 'di ba? So ano ba, kasi gigising ka sa umaga, didesisyon ka eh.
Mm.
Didesisyon ka kung matutulog lang ako dito sa sofa bed ngayon dahil gusto kong mag-basketball ng 10:00 o didesisyon ako na magtatrabaho o talagang tatapusin ko bago mag 10:00 yan tapos magba-basketball ako. Because there's two paradigms to that.
Mm.
'Di ba? There's the paradigm of you tinulugan mo lang yan pagkatapos basketball ka.
Mm.
And then there's the paradigm of you completing all the tasks before 10 and then
Mm.
enjoying the rest of the day.
Mm.
So there's two paradigms,
Mm.
'di ba? The paradigm of acting on it
Mm.
early on and then at the same time, enjoying the rest of the day. And then there's the
Mm.
paradigm of, just sleeping it off and then
Mm.
well, having problems eventually. So
Mm.
it's a choice. So it at the end of the day the choice would be yours, 'di ba?
Okay.
Pare nasa kumbaga tama rin sinasabi nila, nasa tao 'yan eh. Kaya
Yeah.
nga ako pare sabi ko nga, I don't wanna judge.
Mm.
Kasi sino ba nagsabi pa because you're not a judge. So parang so parang 'di ba?
Judge
Parang
ka ng judge, di ka naman
judge ka, hindi ka
wala ka
naman
naman sa
nag-judge eh, 'di
korte.
ba? So parang 'di ba? Parang sa akin pare, don't judge because you don't know eh.
Mm.
So sa akin pare, ibig sabihin pare, I don't wanna say that pare, I'm better than you because I
Mm.
read a lot of books.
Mm.
'Di ba? I'm better than you because of the way of the habits that I have. I don't wanna say that.
Mm.
I'm just saying that, it's a choice. And
Mm.
ako, for myself, I could speak for myself
Mm.
that this was the choice that I made.
And it worked for you,
Oh,
'di
and
ba?
and on a daily basis, it's the choice that I make every time.
Yeah.
So, yun yung sa akin. Kaya nga sabi ko, if your choice is, kumbaga, I go back to the paradigm, you wake up and then you decide to do the job or you decide to just sleep it off. It's actually up to you. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
So, but there's repercussions to that.
Yeah.
So, if you can manage the risk, then pare, by all means, that's good, 'di ba? Ibig
Mm.
sabihin that nung tinulog mo, may sasalo sa'yo, eh di pare yung swerte mo. Pero kung wala,
Mm.
at pare, eh di yun yung repercussion mo. So, pinili mo na yun, di ba?
Do you have a routine nung naging businessman ka, may routine ka ba na parang you're ano?
Routine. Pero actually
Kasi ba
meron.
how actually kasi not everyone are business
Oh,
people.
oo.
Actually, a huge majority don't even have a clue how it is
Mm,
to have a business or
okay.
run it, 'di ba?
Okay, okay.
What are the differences and ano yung routine mo nga na ano may parang gano'n?
Actually good question yan, bro.
Mm.
Kasi that routine starts the night before.
Night before. Okay.
Because pare, I'm a planner. So
Mm.
pare, there's okay, pare, we're talking about planner and talker and doer, pare. So
Mm.
I start as a planner, pare. So I
Mm.
plan my day before. So ibig sabihin, I have this very, very nice productivity app called Wonderlist.
Okay.
And everyone that has worked with me would really tell you that ako ay an advocate of that platform, of
Talaga?
that app. So
Wonderlist. Okay.
yeah, you check it out. So
Okay.
parang tipong ano, it's a productivity tool that puts in all of your to-dos for the
Mm.
day. So I try to manage that before I sleep. And then meron ako pare, meron akong stabilo boss at saka papel. So
Mm.
nandun lahat ng mga to-dos ko. So yung visibility on the
So
operational.
you do the tawag doon, yung advice na list down your goals for that day.
Mm.
Okay.
So ano yun pare. So nandun yan eh. So listado na yan eh. So, alam mo na i-execute mo eh. So,
Mm.
again, I start as a planner, but I end up as an execution guy.
Mm.
Ayoko mo executioner.
Executioner.
Medyo hindi pa maganda yung pupuntahan ng
Oo nga.
executioner. So, yun yung ano eh. Yun, kasi pare, you have to bridge the gap between planning and executing eh.
Mm.
So it's really if there was a secret sauce pare I think pare with what we're discussing now pare I think that's something right. You have to bridge your planning with your executing.
Mm.
So that handover from those processes is very critical. You have to make sure that you know from the point of view of planning, the execution happens. It's not gonna be as perfect as you want it to be, pero there has to be a marriage on that eh.
Mm.
Diba? There has to be.
Ayos. So let's just say hi to the people who are watching.
Oh,
Thank you to si Gab Veras, supporter ng ano yan, ng Pinoy Sports.
ba? Oh, Gab, hi,
Oo.
hi. Kung may questions ka, pare, just throw it in.
Uh, ang dami ng magandang sinabi ni Ben. Actually, no, actually these kinds of conversations kasi is I don't know kung it's ever been tackled
ah,
in depth na ganito ka, kaya maganda yung ano yung yung kumbaga long form
yung
na
long
podcast,
form.
yung long form na podcast kasi you can really go
Mm,
deep into these kinds of things, 'di
yeah,
ba? Kasi
agree.
it's
Agree.
not it's unlike most content that you see
Mm.
on social media or in the internet na okay parang papatawain ka lang, 'di ba?
Oh,
Okay, parang
oh.
bubisitin ka lang ng
Mm,
konti.
mm, mm,
At
mm.
least although masaya naman talaga yung mga ganun.
Agree.
Pero
Agree.
sometimes kasi you need ang goal ko kasi with this podcast is the things that you said,
Oo.
you can madami nang nagsabi niyan
Oh.
on books, on videos, on YouTube. Pero iba pag napanood ng Pilipino from fellow Filipinos, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Kasi hindi parang okay, may nakita mo si Tony Robbins,
Tony
nakita mo
Robbins.
si Gary V, 'di ba?
Gary V.
Mostly ganun din yung sinasabi niya, 'di ba?
Mm.
Pero pag nakita mo na si Benny to o kaya ano na parang Pilipino at saka
Oo,
Tagalog, 'di ba?
oo.
Tagalog yung
Wala
pagka-ano
akong
mo.
Chicano, bro. Medyo maitim lang ng konti. Joke lang. Hindi, it's really, pare. Ako naman, pare, I was really looking forward to, kasi ang prinsipyo ko sa buhay, pare, is that information is free.
Mm-hmm.
And the more it
Hindi
is,
dapat ipagdamot,
oo
kumbaga.
kasi pare, sa totoo lang, pag hindi mo binigay yan, pare, hindi ka magiging open sa bago eh.
Why?
Ibig sabihin, pare, pag hindi mo nilabas yan, pare, hindi ka magiging liberal sa pagpasok ng ibang impormasyon sa utak mo eh.
Mm.
So para bang ang sa akin, pare, for you to be a learner, you have to be, you have to share. Diba? You have to make sure that everyone understands that, pare, there's a whole lot of perspective that can happen from just talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? Because hindi pare, ano yan eh, pare, yung open space na sinasabi ko sa'yo, kung nung nagbabasa ako ng libro ng parang kay John Maxwell na inaasahan ko,
Mm-hmm.
pare, amplify that 1,000 times because of the number of information that you could get now because of the internet.
Yeah.
So ibig sabihin, pare, you're not the brightest boy in the room every time.
Oh.
You could not claim that, pare. You cannot claim that you're the brightest boy because, pare, you're not. Diba? You have to be humble enough to understand that, pare, there's a whole lot of learning that needs to happen.
Yeah, it's the Socratic paradox, 'di ba? Parang di ba sabi nga ni Socrates, parang ano yung sabi niya? The only thing I know is that I don't know. Parang ganun. Kumbaga, yun ang alam niya na sigurado siya. Or something like that. I probably butchered the quote. Pero ang ibig sabihin nun is, kaya lagi siyang panalo sa mga debate eh.
Correct.
Kasi, sige, pinag-uusapan nila kung anong meaning ng buhay. Diba? What's the meaning of life? Ang sagot niya, o kaya, let's say, anyway, anything. Ang ano niya is, yung kalaban niya would insist on, ganito yan. Ito yung tama ako. Ito yung sagot dyan. Tapos, sa kanya, sigurado ka ba? Ako, hindi ko alam. So, nagtitingin ako, baka ito. Pero sa totoo lang, hindi ko talaga alam.
Okay.
'Di ba? So, parang, ikaw, pwede niya ngayong tanungin kasi alam niya rin na hindi na naman talaga niya alam eh.
Okay.
'Di ba? So,
okay.
so lagi siyang panalo sa mga debate nila.
Okay.
Kasi ganun yung ano niya. Kasi he admits that na hindi niya alam. And once you do that, it will open you na to be open to new suggestions and new ideas that could change your perspective and basically to the right answer eventually. Parang ganun.
Kasi at the end of the day, bro, tawag dito, you don't own this, pare. Everything. I mean, the only the people that would be liberally giving everything, that's, pare, you have to go through the spiritual side as well. That, physically, pare, ako, nothing against the family of those tawag dito, mga talagang multi-billionaires who have passed away. But at the end of the day, pare, I think that one person, that billionaire, ended up, passing away without actually bringing all of the billions that he has, So, pare, in this day and age, the only thing, the legacy that you could provide, kasi tama rin sabi ni Eddie Garcia, once you pass away, no one cares. Diba? No one cares eh. So, ibig sabihin that their life would move on. Their life would go on without you. They would miss you, but, so, it's not the money that you carry, pare. Kasi, pare, sa totoo lang, bigyan mo ako 100,000, baka bukas ubos na yan eh.
Oo nga eh.
Diba? So, ang ibig sabihin, para so you quantify it by money. If you're really, really quantifying it by money, pare, you really have to really, look at it kumbaga reflect.
Reassess your
things. You have to really reassess your priorities because at the end of the day, Brad, it's not gonna lead you to anything. Pare, I think the life well spent would probably be, changing someone else's life. But everyone's
to the better,
perfect.
of course. Hindi
pero pare, no one's perfect.
Mm.
Diba? But but you try to strive for it, 'di ba?
Mm.
On a daily basis, yun nga yun eh. So kumbaga it's a mix of so many things eh. So it's not gonna be, pare.
And
From an entrepreneurship perspective, it's very difficult.
and also money is it's just parang ano na lang yan ng ano eh. Parang bonus na lang yan of doing
Mm,
something that you
mm,
love. Kumbaga pa
mm,
kasi I don't think a business, may mga business na nag-thrive talaga na
mm.
hindi gusto nung business owner yung ginagawa nila.
Exactly.
'Di ba? So parang incentive na lang 'yan para okay, hindi mo na mapipigilan 'yan once you have set up the business.
Mm.
Minsan parang parang katulad nung ano, halimbawa, ano bang mga nag-ano ka ng isang store. Let's say, sige, SM na lang,
Oh,
SM.
that's yan.
Naka-set up na yung winning formula nila,
Okay.
obviously. Parang hindi
Okay.
mo, ang hirap ng pigilan nun eh. Kahit ano,
Oo nga.
kailangan
Totoo.
sunugin mo lahat yung SM
Totoo yan.
siguro para matigil yung success nila. Lahat ng building nila sunugin mo, which is hindi
Totoo.
naman mangyayari, 'di ba?
Agree, agree, agree.
So, kumbaga kasi the system is already in place, and the system is almost, you can say, alive.
Mm.
Kasi it's a self-generating process eh.
Mm.
Kasi uh, involved na dyan yung mga trabahador mo, which is,
Mm.
of course, ayaw din nilang mawala ng trabaho, di ba?
Mm.
So,
Mm.
yung nagsimula nun could just lay back
Mm.
and just watch it.
Agree.
For better or for worse.
Mm. Kaya nga eh, sabi ko pare, 'di ba? It's a liberating mindset to actually think in terms of ano of the things that you can do for others.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very liberating mindset that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that, pare, money is not important,
Of
pare. I'll
course.
be honest with you, pare. Give me 1 million, pare. I'll be very happy, di ba?
Oo.
But,
Sino ba namang hindi?
di ba? Di ba? You tell me, di ba? Bili ako ng shoes kahit na hindi ako mahilig sa shoes, di ba?
Oo.
Pero, point is, di ba? If you put that as your carrot every time, and it's gonna take a lot out of you, eh.
Mm.
Diba? But if you feel that by doing something, it takes it changes a bit.
Mm.
Pare bilyunan na ng tao sa mundo eh.
Mm.
So it changes 1% of the population. It changes it. You'll be happy, di ba?
Mm.
So
Pero how do you view money right now?
money is good. Money is nice,
Hindi
di
kasi
ba?
parang a lot of people, may mga tao kasi na parang
Uh,
who don't understand money, how money works,
ah,
how money could be. Kumbaga parang it's just to most people kasi money is just something that is waiting for you to spend it. Parang gano'n. Parang pag nakuha, parang that's why there's this I think there's a study na
mm,
lahat ng nanalo ng loto,
okay.
no matter kahit gaano kalaki yung tinamaan nila na loto, yung windfall na yun, kahit million yan, kahit
Okay.
tens of millions, 100 millions, after 3 to 6 years yata,
Ah.
wala na ulit silang pera.
Yeah,
Kasi
actually,
hindi nila alam kung
oo
paano
nga
how
eh.
money works.
Actually, again, babalik na naman ako, re-reference ko na naman dun sa dun sa mga nababasa kong
Mm.
libro about Kiyosaki, about Warren
Mm.
Buffett,
Mm.
pare, very, very gasgas na term of passive income,
Oo.
But, it's a very practical approach, eh. So, para bang
Ganun
sabi
talaga
ko nga,
eh.
eh, with the best, I wanna be as humble as I can, but with the type of businesses that I've established, ako pare, I prefer yung bang monthly income with the very marginal income, yung maliit lang pero
Mm.
marami, as opposed to, let's
Oo.
say, a big project that will give me millions, pero pare, it will take a lot out of you pagkatapos, pare, one time, big time.
Mm.
Kasi pag ganun yung chase mo pagdating sa ganun, it's not, pare, siguro the right word would be sustainability.
Mm.
Would be the type of impact that the money will create to you on a sustainable level, eh.
Mm.
So ibig sabihin, is it gonna be something that's gonna be worthwhile from you 20 years from now?
Mhm.
'Di ba? Is it gonna make an impact on your family, on hopefully with others, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Kasi syempre pare tayo very very ano naman clannish naman tayo. Syempre we always think of ourselves and our family,
Of
'di ba?
course.
But siguro the higher ground would be other people, 'di ba? So para
Ah,
bang
yeah.
outside of your sphere of influence, outside of your sphere of love, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
So para bang you look at it from that perspective, 'di ba? So I hope it works out, 'di ba? I hope that the money that that you earn would have a good enough impact on other people, 'di ba? So but if not, and I hope that it wasn't
Mm.
spent on shoes. No, nothing against the shoe guys, No, no, no,
Sneakerheads.
sir. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna be alienating you or no, saying that what you're doing is wrong. It's really
Mm.
about the happiness that brings that the shoes brings to you. But
Mm.
to me personally, it's really not my cup of tea. So
Oo.
to each his own.
Mm.
Again, so
Mm.
you don't judge.
Mm.
I just make sure that you guys are happy there, then that's happiness, diba?
Mm.
Then I'm happy with what I'm doing, then I'm happy, diba?
Mm.
So very practical lang, diba? It's
So, so you consider yourself a practical person?
oh bro, awa
Like
ng Diyos.
how would you describe your lifestyle, if you don't
Ako
mind?
parang napakuripot ko.
Talaga?
Kasi may Excel file ako of all of my expenses from
Talaga?
2007. So ibig sabihin, pag chinek mo ko, pag tinanong mo ko, ano ba talaga yung gastos mo ng March 15 to 30, 2007? I could probably tell you magkano na gastos ko eh.
Talaga?
Kasi pare nag-excel ako hanggang ngayon.
Wow!
Pare, oo.
Wow,
So,
that's amazing.
awa ng Diyos, pare. With God's grace, pare, nandun ako sa ganong klaseng pag-uisip. So,
Well, that's discipline eh. How did you develop that kind of discipline? Kasi I
kasi
think
pare,
kasi to a lot of people kasi it's ano eh, it's parang ang corny naman nito, 'di ba? Bakit mo kailangan gawin 'yan? Pero it's a winning formula eh. A lot of people who are extremely successful
ah,
do that too, 'di ba?
pare, aminin ko sa'yo, pare, siguro dahil sa ayoko nang bumalik dun sa dati kong kinaginasnan. Diba? So, ibig sabihin, pare, the motivation might probably be because ayokong maging mahirap.
Oh.
Siguro pare, no, just being honest about it.
Mhm.
And it's really mahirap,
How
maging mahirap,
were
'di ba?
you poor nung ano?
It's really about siguro pare may life phases eh.
Mm.
Ibig sabihin pare, and it hardens you.
Ah, I
'Di ba? Yung
see.
maganda kasi yung may mga panahon sa buhay mo
Yeah.
that you went the slope down
Mm.
eh. Kasi pare it creates it creates motivation. Hindi
Mm.
pa pwede kasi na parang tipong ang mangyayari sa is that it's gonna be good times every time,
Yeah.
and that doesn't provide for a very nice experientials
Mm.
in terms of ano ba yung ups and downs eh.
Mm.
So ang importante kasi would be the experiences eh. So ako pare, dumating talaga ako dun sa mga puntong talagang pare walang wala, 'di ba?
Mm.
Dumating ka sa puntong you have to give so many things.
Yeah.
So pare, like just like any other person, but siguro pare katulad ng mga tipong mantra sa sports, the important thing is the bounce back, 'di
Mm.
ba? So yung mga ganung bagay
Mm.
pare. So
Well,
ay
it's also important to for a person to experience these things kasi these are the times when you find out what you're really made of eh.
mm,
'Di ba? Kasi
mm,
what you are capable of, that you are alam mo yun, there's this another thing that I've read,
mm,
parang the only time that you will truly be tawag dito, magiging matured
mm.
or in a sense in
Okay. Matured, ah. Sige,
matured, o
okay, okay.
yung kumbaga magiging capable of
Okay.
doing of taking care of yourself is
Okay.
pag dumaan ka dun sa phase na wala ka ng ibang aasahan kundi ikaw.
Oo, totoo
'Di
yan,
ba? Kasi
bro.
wala ka ng ano eh. Kasi there are a lot of people kahit hindi ka ganun kayaman
Okay.
can still halimbawa, okay, parang they think they can afford to magpa-banjing-banjing kasi pag naubusan ako ng pera, nandito yung nanay ko, 'di
Yan
ba?
yung mga
Nandiyan
gano'n,
yung
ano?
nandito yung asawa ko, nandito yung
Hmm,
boyfriend ko, nandito yung
hmm.
girlfriend ko or
Okay.
kung sino man, 'di
Hmm,
ba?
hmm,
O meron
hmm.
akong mauuto.
Okay.
'Di ba mga gano'n?
Okay,
So,
okay, okay.
pag pag dumating yung oras na wala ka ng gano'n, talagang you're gonna be forced
Okay.
to fend for yourself. That's the only time na yun, mangyayari yung gano'n na hindi ka na kumbaga papipilitan ka, 'di
Oh,
ba?
pare, totoo naman yun, chong. Sa akin kasi, pare, I lost my dad na, when I was 19. I was
Mm.
forced to be the man, pare,
Breadwinner,
the breadwinner. But it pare, at 19, pare,
mahirap matindi yun.
you wouldn't be thinking so much of maturity and responsibility. So,
Mm.
pare, nagkaroon din ka rin nung phase na talaga, you were immature, you were talaga spending
Mm.
stupidly, di ba? So
Oo
para,
nga, 'di ba?
so, so yeah, but I'm glad it happened, kasi it really, those are the
Mm.
experientials that I carry with me na, these are the use cases, kumbaga, that you try to avoid,
So
so
that
so di ba, yun yung mga bagay
mm.
na parang, ay putik, ayoko na dyan, diba? So parang yung
Mm.
ganun. So in terms of motivation, pare, it's just the recognition that, there was a phase in your life that, you really don't want to go to.
Mm.
So you try to be very, very practical in how you gonna navigate all of the things that's happening to your life. Kasi pare, it's fleeting, it's unfolding on a daily
Mm.
basis, eh.
And it would
So
happen anytime, 'di ba?
so if you're not gonna be, pare, mentally prepared
Mm.
for that, by hardening yourself with new learnings, with talagang execution, with experientials, with really being pragmatic, strategic, all of these new age term,
Mm.
then you might not be able to, you might be shaken,
Mm.
'di ba? When you're shaken, pare, uh if you don't have the foundationals on so many things, on so many levels, it might be shaken so much, 'di ba? So baka mamaya niyan tumumba, 'di ba? So ang sa akin, pare, the end of the day, there will always be those shakes, eh. Pero pare, how you position yourself para at least, okay lang ako kung may mangyaring ganun, then that would be the one that you should be preparing for every time. It should be those types of reactionary things, eh, di ba? It's not about, ang gagawin mo is, ay, maiiyak na naman ako diyan, 'di ba?
Oo.
It's because that shouldn't be part of the DNA already, the being emotional, eh. So it's kumbaga, being emotional in some levels about loving your family and all
Mm.
of these things and sharing things with others, that should be the emotional
Mm.
part. But in terms of being emotional when shit happens,
Mm.
then that might not be the best
Yeah.
approach on things,
Yeah,
diba? So
I think every person needs to experience the the that that moment where you snap na fuck. Kailangan kong
oo, siguro
kailangan
pare,
ko
'di ba?
mag-iisip ako, teka, what the fuck am I doing with my life, 'di ba? Teka,
Kaya pare, 'di ba?
nobody is gonna kung okay, kasi ako nangyari rin sa akin 'yan.
Okay.
Nangyari rin sa akin 'yan na parang, akala ko we were doing better than what we really were
Mm,
doing,
mm,
'di
mm.
ba? Pero that time, siyempre meron ka ng ano sa sarili mo, eh, na parang,
Oo,
meron ka ng self-image, eh.
agree.
And, dapat kasi parang you learn to kinda like, what you are, 'di ba?
Okay.
And if you're gonna find a thing na parang, shit, 'pag ganito, hindi na pala ako magiging ano, maaapektuhan na
Mm,
yung
mm.
self-image ko sa ayokong maging mahirap na puta, kawawa talaga kung nakatira ako
Totoo
sa
yan.
ilalim ng tulay, 'di
Oo.
ba?
Oo,
Kumbaga that's not how I would see myself. I will never see
oo,
myself as something like that. So, I need to I need to make sure that doesn't happen. So
oo,
kailangan I need to step up. I need, even at a younger age, around the same time that you were parang ganun, at the
oo,
same age tayo.
oo,
More or less. Mga
oo,
20, 21 ako ganun. So parang
oo.
teka, pag if I don't step up, wala, mamumulubi kami. So
Agree.
ayokong mamulubi.
Mm,
I need to do something and alam mo
exactly.
yun, and make
Oh,
sacrifices.
exactly. It's about ano, eh, yung how, how it affects you personally, 'di ba? So,
And also
kaya
your family kasi
oo,
kasi
kaya nga ayoko, I don't wanna come out as a very para bang Bo Sanchez but
no.
no, 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 all respects to Brother Bo. In fact, I always read the Daki
Mm-mm.
every day, so but I go back to the spirituality of everything also. It's really foundationally,
Mm-mm.
mentally, you should be structured, quote
Mm-mm.
unquote, in that manner that when shakes happen, it should be that you're prepared for it, you know how to react to that. But at the same time, spirituality should be ano yan should be equally important eh. So um when you reach a certain age kasi you begin to realize that
Yan na.
life is
Okay.
really simple that way, that that there's a God, that that really would you would have to go through on everything that happens to your life, and then
Mm-mm.
there's you who would have to be taking care of your mental health, your
Mm-mm.
physical health, and all of these things. And there's you who would also actually be steward to everyone else. So kasi parang ko, it's really about, recognizing that, it's there.
Mm-mm.
That life would actually be so simple if you really think of it in that perspective. So, I think the complexity would come in because you bring it to yourself.
Mm-mm.
Again, ayoko kasing dumating na parang, "Ay, puta, napaka-perfecto naman itong tao." It's not,
Mm-mm.
because pare the complexity
Oh,
always happens to me. But
yeah, we're just talking here.
but
No. Mm-mm.
the challenge, well, the only difference is that because siguro of the hardening of the experiences that I had from before, at
Mm-mm.
the same time it's really about the learnings that I've been continually learning, and it gives me a better perspective on how to react, on how to attack certain things, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Na it might not be reactionary, it might not be emotional, it might
Mm-mm.
not be this, 'di ba? So,
Mm-mm.
well, yung ganun lang, 'di
Well,
ba?
there will always be people who are ano parang since hindi nila who couldn't they can't fathom na parang these are things that you can that wala kang choice to just but to just accept,
Mm.
and hindi nila matanggap na parang hindi nila gets na parang you make it look easy.
Oo.
Although kahit kumbaga para kaya kumbaga pag sinabi mo na de kaya yan. But for them it's
Oo.
almost the end of the world. Kaya ang dating sa kanila parang ang yabang mo, 'di ba?
Agree.
Pero sa totoo lang, hindi ko naman sinabing hindi madali eh. Sinabi
Oo.
ko lang kaya.
Oo,
'Di ba?
doable, doable. Tama yung pare. Sabi ko nga pare, everything's doable,
Mm.
everything's reasonable. Sabi ko, gawan tao naman yan eh.
Oo.
Siguro yung prinsipyo, gawan tao yan pare.
Mm.
So, ibig sabihin, magagawa ng paraan yan. So,
Oo.
pag siguro, baka hindi mo naman didesisyonan yan kung ang Diyos na nagdesisyon dyan, di ba? So, um, I guess, it's really about the practicality pare, di ba? So,
I,
eh,
I think I think kasi to most people
mm,
yung it's unfathomable to them kasi to pull yourself out of these ruts
mm,
or to pull off a feat or an achievement na katulad ng coming up with starting your own business, starting your own project with minimal help
mm,
is parang ang hirap nun.
agree.
Hindi nila maano, and um, siguro a lot of them just don't hindi sila komportable to take risks. So hindi nila kayang
Mm,
but I think like you, hindi ka
mm,
naman pupunta dun sa Pinoy Liga, which is kumbaga unheard of sa
mm,
Philippine setting.
mm.
Hindi ka pupunta doon if you're not willing to take the risk, 'di ba?
Yeah,
And to parang a lot of people probably parang
mm,
teka bakit mo gagawin 'yan? Parang
mm.
hindi sasagi sa utak nila na gagawin nila 'yon,
Oo,
'di
oo,
ba? Kasi
oo.
their fear of failure ganyan.
Yeah, actually, oo, tama. It's a mix
Mm.
of so many things eh. You actually, if I may, and if I could just go to that fear of
Mm.
failure,
Mm.
that's actually, that's a very big trap.
Mm.
Kasi pag tinignan mo yung failure as a be all, sum all of your life,
Mm.
then that's a big problem. Kasi but
What do
if
you mean
you
be all or somewhat?
para bang if that defines you.
Ah.
So para bang ang akin kasi is that it's part of everything. In fact, para nung ginagawa nga namin yung Pinoy Ligan, we're still doing it, ano,
Mm-mm.
na magkakaroon kami ng mali, pero ako palagi ko, it's your approach to the failure that needs to be defined eh.
Mm-mm.
So how do you define yung pagkakamali? It's really okay, alam ko nagkamali ako kasi alam kong parte yan. Kumbaga parang kasama sa
Mm.
budget ko yan eh. So
Oo.
meron akong budget sa pagkakamali. Ibig sabihin,
Ah.
sa isang proyekto na to, ibig sabihin meron akong budget na 30% may mali dyan.
Mm-mm.
Kasi pag ganun yung approach mo,
Mm-mm.
pag ang approach mo is alam kong meron,
Mm-mm.
at hindi yung atake, dapat hindi ako magkamali. Then pare liberal, kumbaga
Mm-mm.
pare it frees you from the obligation of being perfect eh. Kasi yun yung biggest trap pare,
Mm-mm.
yung bang tipong you perfect everything when in fact it shouldn't be. Kasi pare everything should always be WIP, work in progress yan
Mm-mm.
bro, di ba? It's not gonna be something na parang okay, after a week's time pare, tapos na yan, perfecto na yan. Yun,
Mm-mm.
pare, again, babalik ako dun sa the fact that pare, the world works in a different plane already.
Mm-mm.
What you know now might not be relevant tomorrow.
Mm-mm.
So
Well, just that you saying that it already contradicts the notion na those people who dare to try new things
mm,
are mayabang kasi it takes humility to allot even budget for the kumbaga sigurado ka that you will not get it right the first time around 'di ba? Na hindi mo hindi ka kumbaga parang alam na alam mo yung ginagawa mo.
mm,
Parang that tells me that parang you're going
mm,
into this parang you have an idea but you can also consider na parang you're also blind na hindi mo alam kasi
oo,
it's uncharted territory eh, 'di ba? Parang di
agree.
mo rin alam kung anong how would people react pero you are willing to take the risk.
Agree. Kaya nga an sa akin pare, if everyone would only have that mentality of okay lang magkamali,
Mhm.
pare. Pare, alam mo, the world would be a better place. Ayokong pumunta dun sa a world would be a better place, pare. Masyadong, ano ba yan, pare, cliche.
Oo.
So cliche.
Well, I think if you can make yourself if everybody could just 'di ba, if you think about it, if everybody could make their own lives a little bit better, then
Mm.
the world is become a better place.
Oo,
It's just that a
pare.
lot of people are parang hindi ko kaya to. Parang ganun.
Bro, it's really all about that. It's just about more about pare. Ewan ko pare when I reach a certain age nga sabi ko nga sa'yo, when I reach the 40s
Mhm.
pare siguro talagang midlife yan eh. Ayokong sabihin na parang uy, may clarity na ako. Parang
Oo.
ganun. Kasi pare clarity happens on a daily basis eh.
Mm.
Um, simplicity happens eh. So para bang tama yung parang inisip. Sabi ko ano una sabi okay, sana marami akong kaibigan. Pero when you begin to realize that you only need a few. Because pare,
Oo nga,
everyone,
no?
diba? Everyone only has what, the one thing consists 24 hours. And pare, time spent with family is very important. Do you
Mhm.
think pare, I still have time for someone else? So parang bang ang punto de vista ko is parang tipong from a perspective of time management, it's better spent with family and a few friends who would really matter in your life. So paano man sa akin, okay, if someone would entrust me with their time
Mhm.
and builds a relationship with me, then pare, okay ako. I'm always all for that eh.
Mhm.
Hindi ako yung pare, I don't build walls eh.
Mhm.
So parang okay, kung gusto mo makipagkaibigan sa akin, pare talagang so by all means, walang
Mhm.
problema. But yung mga susunod na yan eh, yung if he's gonna be investing time with me,
Mhm.
then I'm gonna be investing time. Kasi reciprocated
Mhm.
naman eh. But kumbaga, at the end of the day, pare, isipin mo, dapat konti na lang. It's
Mm.
it's the one that matters, eh, 'di ba? But I'm not saying that you don't need to be friendly with everyone.
Mm.
It's you should be because
Mm.
pare from a personal
You'll
and
never know, 'di ba?
oh, and
What could
business,
transpire, 'di ba?
'di ba? And business perspective, there
Mm.
will always be something that can happen. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, the ones that truly matters would be
Yes.
those that will be spending time. You would be making the extra effort to actually be with you.
Wow.
So pare, with practicality, pare. Pare, kumbaga, if there's a few takeaways from our discussion, it's
Mm.
really practicality, pragmatism, being reasonable, being really talagang being attuned with what's happening in the
Mm.
world, and at the same time, pare, execution.
No. Well, that is actually an awesome insight, 'di ba? That
Di ba?
it's a great insight na you don't need that much friends kasi you 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 only have like you said 24 hours a
Pare,
day, and
24
that's
oras lang yan.
tapos
Ano ba yan?
tulog ka pa no.
Pare,
One
walong
third
oras.
nun, 'di ba?
One third nung panahon na yun, pare, tulog ka.
O kaya you just
Tapos,
nagpo-procrastinate ka
oo, di
tapos may
ba?
ginagawa kang iba.
I'm sure pare kalahati ng oras yan pare sa ano mo sa pamilya mo, 'di ba?
Mm.
So really it's about and then you respect also the time that other people would have
Mm.
for their own families too. So yung yun pare. So ibig sabihin yan pare, God created 24 hours not because pare kailangan niya maging social butterfly ka. It's because pare He made you realize na putya yung 24 oras mo, pare, should be spent with the people that matters. 'Di ba? Parang,
That's great. That's great. Ang ganda nun, ang ganda.
importante yun, pare. So, pare siguro yung 3 bote ng beer to.
Cheers ulit! Cheers!
Ang galing nun, pare. Sabi ko, oh my
Ulit, di
God.
nakita.
Hindi, dami ko nasabi, ah. Sabi ko, oh
Sa
my
mga
God.
sa mga umiinom din, bring out your beers. Samahan nyo kaming
Oo,
tumama
bro.
dito.
Oo,
Uh,
tama yan.
later mag post kayo ng pictures nyo with your beer or whatever poison
Mm.
your
Pick your
drinking.
poison, no? Pick your poison. So,
Basta ang sarap ng usapan namin. Ang sarap ng usapan namin dito.
so,
Balik naman ulit tayo sa Pinoy Liga, di
oh,
ba?
yan, 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 yan. Sa
Balik
Pinoy
tayo.
Liga.
Parang break ulit hanggang sa makarating ulit tayo kung saan.
Sige, go.
So what else do we need to learn about? Would you like to say about Pinoy Liga?
Pinoy Liga, we're around 45 leagues that's on that's subscribing to us already. And we're happy to inform
45, ang dami nun.
45. Yeah, happy. I'm happy to
Mhm.
have that number in
Last time that we talked to you in Bola Boys, yung sa Bola Boys podcast, shout out sa Bola Boys podcast.
Ay,
Kiko and Jerome.
Jerome,
Check it out, Bola Boys podcast dito rin sa Facebook. Last time nasa mga 30 pa lang yata eh.
30,
So
30.
nadagdagan na ulit.
Nadagdagan na siya, awa
Wow.
ng Diyos, and we're moving past NCR. We're moving outside Manila, and
Mhm.
we've been covering Cebu, CDO, Iligan, Ormoc,
Mhm.
a few of the Luzon provinces, because our goal really is to make the technology available to the whole nation.
Mhm.
And siguro better that others realize that we're the official Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas social media manager. So we're really in the space of trying to create an impact on a industry level ba,
Mhm.
on a governing body level, by aligning with them and making sure that we're arm's length from with them, na they recognize how we could change how basketball is being done in the Philippines.
Mhm.
So yun pare.
Based on their experience with the Pinoy Liga,
Mm-mm.
ano yung mga feedback nila? How did it change
Mm.
their league?
Actually, ano, maganda, ano. Generally, it's a nice feedback kasi ang mangyayari is that this is something new to everyone, ano.
Mm-mm.
But there's a few that would have an experience already with the higher technologies like FIBA Live Stats, like other technologies outside the country.
Mm-mm.
And they don't, kumbaga, they tend to compare it with
Mm-mm.
the, sabi ko, it's not perfect, it's there will always be those kinds of, ano, kumbaga, misgivings, but at the
Mm-mm.
end of the day, what matters to us is that we're local, eh.
Oo nga.
Yun ang importante kasi dito, is that others should realize that this is a local technology that's out there for the local Filipinos. That,
Mm-mm.
if you tell me that, Benny, tingin ko dapat lagyan mo ng ganitong module yung Pinoy Liga, pare, we could actually do it.
What kind of, ano yung mga
'Di
requests?
ba? Ang dami diyan, eh. So ako, plenty, eh. So ang sa akin, our point is
Mm-mm.
we could do it.
Mm,
Ibig
yeah, yeah.
sabihin, we are not at the mercy of other countries who developed it, eh. So
Mm,
yun yung
mm-mm.
importante kasi diyan, eh, is that, we need to support local tech companies, eh.
Mm-mm.
Kasi ang importante sa local is that, ang unang siniserve niyan would be the local market, eh.
Kasi nandito tayo eh, 'di
Nandito
ba?
tayo, eh. So ibig sabihin, ano 'yun, eh, it becomes a very good pivot for someone like us that, um again, being local, syempre you support local, which is
Mm-mm.
very good, 'di ba? But at the end of the day, it's our ability to adapt, our ability to adjust, our ability to take care of what's ano, eh. Kasi yung iba kasi, if I may, like the FIBA Live Stats or these
Mm-mm.
types of new technologies, they're developed outside the country, eh.
Mm-mm.
So, ibig sabihin, you will be at the mercy of that particular development
Mm-mm.
company. Like, unlike with us, kumbaga, we're arm's length. We're
Mm-mm.
nandito palagi.
Mm.
We're actually listening to what you guys have to say,
Mm.
and it's in tune with the Philippine market,
Yeah.
eh. So at the same time, kumbaga, meron kasi kaming drive going for global
Mm-mm.
also, because we have a different technology for that, but we're perfecting it now here in the Philippines, so that eventually, pag kunyari nag-launch na tayo
Mm-mm.
for global use of a technology for basketball, mas perfected na siya here in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
You were talking about kanina na your vision talaga for Pinoy Liga is to make it a one-stop shop, kumbaga,
Mm.
in effect, for Pinoy basketball enthusiast,
Mm.
or kung halimbawa, yun nga,
Mm.
kung kailangan mong not just the stats, if
Mm.
you want basketball content, you
Mm.
can find it there.
Agree.
So ano pa yung mga plans mo, Will?
Yeah, pare, ano, ang gandang question. Kasi right now, pare, ang ginawa na nga namin, apart from digital basketball stats, we have the news feeds. Ang
News
bilis-bilis
feeds.
ng mga news
Mm.
namin about, first, yung Phil Oil, tapos yung Gilas, yung
Mm.
mga big brands here in the Philippines. We could easily syndicate um, materials, ano, like
Mm.
the MPBL, a few of the teams, kaya namin makagawa ng mga news materials for them, simply because we have the platform where we could easily post and amplify news already.
Mm.
So ibig sabihin, apart from the digital stats, may news feed na pala sa Pinoy Liga.
Saan makikita yung news feed?
Sa ano, in the same web page. Nandun na
Talaga?
rin, may news feed. If you look at it,
Tingnan
brother,
natin. Okay.
tingnan mo, click mo siya.
No, teka. Let's check out Pinoy Liga. www.pinoyliga.com.
Yes, sir.
Check it out. Dito siguro. Kailangan ba bang
Hmm.
mag-login?
Yan, para no,
Newsfeed.
you don't
Okay.
need to.
Okay.
Tapos
Pero
pare,
everybody can create an account.
yes. Kumbaga, ang mangyayari dyan, well, the account should come from our client leagues, eh.
I see.
Yeah,
I
if you would
see.
notice, bro, tignan mo, ang dami-dami na naming contents about Gilas, about PhilOil, about the different leagues in the Philippines, about Sanbeda, about yan, LGR Hoops, KOTC, all of
Mm-mm.
these stakeholders of Philippine basketball.
Mm-mm.
We could actually do it. 'di ba? So imaginein mo that your news about your leagues are quickly sent to our website,
Mm-mm.
nagkakaroon ka ngayon ng, uy, ang bilis ng information. Again, I go back to the fact that, I need to make sure na I'm in tune with the times, 'di ba?
Teka, kinakain ng aso ko yung ano,
Na
yung takip ng bote. Wait! Arlo! No! Okay, 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 okay. Oh, so yan. Pero grabe siguro pakiramdam mo. These leagues, they're amateur, di ba? Amateur league ba to?
No,
O
no, no, no,
semi-pro?
no, no. Kasi nandyan yung mga collegiate with Phil Oil, nandyan
Ah,
yung mga
I
casual
see, I
recreational,
see.
sila LGR Hoop, sila Pinoy Liga
But
Cup.
when you say casual recreational, ano yun?
Ayan yung mga
Anong ibig
yan yung mga
sabihin
you
nun?
and me, yan yung mga naglalaro ng mga yung mga hindi
Sunday
na
basketball,
pro,
mga
ayan,
ganun.
mga weekend volley, mga
Oo.
weekend warriors, yung mga yan.
Mm-mm.
Um, at the same time, nandiyan din yung Gilas. Like I said, we're happy to be the official social media manager of the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas.
Cool.
That we're able to provide information about the Samahan, about the Gilas brand,
Mm-hmm.
and
Is Gilas connected with the samahan ng
yes,
basketball?
of course.
Okay.
Kasi the
Hindi
the
ko alam
one
yun ah.
the
Okay.
one that owns the Gilas brand is the Samahan. So
Kala ko si MVP.
no,
Hindi.
MVP kasi is one of our ardent supporters,
Okay.
but the samahan with the leadership of Mr. Panlilio and
Okay.
with the stewardship of Coach Ryan Gregorio has been making a lot of strides already, in creating a very new environment for Philippine
Teka,
basketball.
papalabasan ko lang. May
Sige lang,
sisirahin
go.
to. No, no, no. Harlow. Mas. May kasama kaming aso kanina yung
Mhm.
dog ko na
Siberian yan, pare. Ang
na
ganda.
husky. Eh, magtatapon na naman yun eh. Grabe. So, ayan pa. So natuwa naman talaga yung mga clients mo. Are
Yeah.
they clients to you or what?
Yeah, they're partner leagues eh.
Partner leagues.
Partner
Okay.
leagues, So imaginein mo yung mga kunyari, let's say naglaro si Ateneo versus sorry. Naglaro si Adamson versus Perpetual Health sa PhilOil.
Mhm.
Immediately we could push out the content, the
Mhm.
material. It's because first and foremost, we have the platform. We have
Mhm.
Pinoy Liga newsfeed.
Mhm.
So, ibig sabihin by merely kasi ang aming nakakatuwa about Pinoy League is because we are a platform.
Mhm.
Ibig sabihin we could do so many things.
Mhm.
So we could push out so many contents for
Mhm.
the market. So, 'yan, yung baga meron tayong ganun tapos
Kasi may mga reporters ka, ganun?
yes, I have a
Okay.
few, but at the same time we're trying to move by providing all of our partner leagues the opportunity to write their own materials. It's like a
Okay.
social community eh.
Yeah.
We don't have to rely on the writers that we have.
Mhm.
We have to look at it from a perspective that you write your own content.
Mhm.
Kumbaga, hindi na namin kailangan na kasi that's the old way of doing it eh. That we rely on the materials of news reporters.
Mhm.
Syempre there's that credibility also, no? But at the same time, we have to marry it with how the world works now, which
Mhm.
is very, very quick, very, very kailangan na easily accessible na yung mga news feeds, So, we're trying to have that, And then at the same time, yung natin, yung Pinoy Liga TV natin,
Mhm.
which is streams of the game. And then pare, sabi ko nga sa'yo, we could always have these types of commentary like a
Oo nga
Colin
eh.
Coward, di ba? Ako, ang dream ko talaga is to have a Colin Coward type of commentary here. Kasi gustong-gusto ko siya dahil napaka in-depth niya.
Oo.
In
yung mga Stephen A, mga ganun. Trip mo ba
Oo,
yun?
yung mga ganun, pare, gustong-gusto ko yan.
Well, I follow a lot of, not a lot, pero
Mm-mm.
some sports podcasts.
Mm-mm.
Pero mostly MMA nga.
Okay.
Although kasama ko nung tawag doon, yung Bola Boys, sila yung
Mm-mm.
mga basketball guys eh.
Mm-mm.
Yun. Maybe the Bola Boys guys, uy, Kiko, At saka Jerome,
Oo.
maggawa tayo ng content para dito kay Benny.
Yes, please. Yes, please. So, sana there will be someone that will take the challenge, yung challenge ko of creating a Colin Coward type of commentary. Yun pare, nakita mo yun yung aking ano,
Alin?
yun yung aking personal profile. Yan pare.
Ayun po, grabe.
Mukha bang 40 anyos
Oo nga,
yan.
no?
Mukhang ano nga mukhang import daw.
So ganito ang itsura ng ano. Number one
Mm.
ka pala. Oh, grabe. So this is so kung member ka ng Pinoy Liga,
Mm.
magkakaroon ka ng profile pic, tapos
Mm.
meron ka nakaganyan.
You will create your own. It's a
Ganun?
social media community. So it's a social
Ah,
community. So you have to create your own.
I
We cannot do
see.
it for you.
Rebound per game, 4.16.
Yes, sir.
Casual standard per
PER,
PR.
that's the standard rating.
Ano yung PR?
Player efficiency rating. So that's the
Ah,
benchmark.
ano yung ngayon ko lang narinig yan Ano yung pinakang top niyan?
Ang top,
10?
ang pinaka acceptable would all-star ka would be around 15. So parang ka ng Russell Westbrook niyan. Pero ang
Ganun.
highest talaga pare, ang top 3 all time is Jordan, LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Mhm.
So nasa mga 30 na yan.
Grabe.
Grabe.
Speaking of Anthony Davis and LeBron, what do you think about
Well, I'm a Laker fan.
Mhm.
So if you're asking me what I feel, I'm very happy.
Mhm.
Um but it takes a lot of pieces more
Mhm.
para to contend.
Mhm.
Although well, with KD and Klay Thompson out, medyo malaki yung chance. But
Out na ba sila?
well,
So,
kasi Achilles eh. So the
yeah,
healing
I
process
see.
is
Oo nga
long
pala.
and then ACL yung isa. So
Oo.
pare bang I think what happened to GSW was the worst that can happen eh. So sa akin the chances
Mhm.
of owning the West is
Mhm.
very very big. But my fear would be to go all the way, probably get another superstar or well, Kyle Kuzma is good, but yung ceiling niya,
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it's gonna be on an all-star
Kaso
level.
nagkaroon daw ng parang bubu yung Lakers. Parang yung something about the salary cap, hindi ba? 'Di ba? Si Kiko ang
Hindi,
nakakaalam niyan. Actually si Kiko hindi ano siya hindi siya Laker hindi actually hindi siya LeBron fan.
hindi nangyari yata dun was
Oo.
what happened there was it was a matter of timing that the deal shouldn't have been done on the 23rd of June. It should have been done after July 1. That was it, so that they would be able to have at least 32 mil of salary cap instead of 23.
Mhm.
I think they know it. I think they measurable naman yung risk on their side
Mhm.
because pare each basketball franchise naman employs an analytics and a salary cap person.
Mhm.
I'm 100% sure that they did probably recognize those.
Oo.
So, ang sa akin naman, going back, I think the Lakers should, if they'd have the opportunity to get another superstar, they'd probably need to get it,
Mhm.
and then put in more shooters for
Si Kuzma
LeBron.
nawala 'di ba? Na-trade ba si
No, 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 no.
Ano?
So,
Nandun
kasama
pa
si
si
Kuzma.
Kuzma?
Kasama si Kuzma.
Sino yung
Nandiyan
mga
pa.
na-trade? Si
Si
Ball tsaka si
Ball, si Ingram, si Hart, and then di Hart ibang lista po yan. So, si Josh Hart po
si
yan.
James
So,
Ingram.
hindi ko rin James
Diyos.
Ingram yan. So, si ano po yan. Tsaka hindi ko si ano yan. So, yung mga yun. So,
Oh.
yun. Tapos, around 3 picks eh. So, including the number 4 of this draft. And then,
Mhm.
two protected picks for to 2021 yata 2022.
So you follow
Oh yeah.
talaga.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Eh di
yeah.
ikaw na lang mag-host ng Colin Coward show.
Well, I want to, but
Oo.
I want to build the Pinoy Liga as a brand. I hope to bring it to where it should be.
Where at least you have one show of your own,
I hope,
'di
I
ba?
hope, I
So
hope.
hindi naman kahit madami naman, 'di ba? So hindi lang naman
Uh,
isang kailangan eh. So
Well, I
you have
hope.
Bola Boys and then your show and
I
then
hope, I hope. So I hope Pinoy Liga TV takes off ano kasi I'm
dito tayo
very
mag-shoot.
Oo naman.
Ikaw, di ba, may green screen ako dito eh. So,
I
miso-miso
love
yun.
the concept ano kasi yan sa akin Pinoy Liga TV kasi we are, again ano I go back to the fact that we're a platform eh.
Mm-hmm.
Kumbaga we have the brand, we have the platform, we could do so many content
Mm.
drives eh. So I am really high on Pinoy Liga TV because everything's going to the visuals side eh.
Mm-hmm.
Nandun na tayo sa state na pare, we're more than pictures eh. We're more
Yeah.
into the video na
Mm.
eh, into experiential na eh. So we hope to be part of that
Yeah.
also.
Podcasts are supposed to be originally talaga or just the audio
Mm-mm.
podcast eh. Mga
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
basically radio show yung podcast eh. Pero dahil the
Agree.
technology now allows it na pwede mong dagdagan ng video,
Agree.
why not? And we can stream it live pa, 'di ba? So let's make the most of it.
Agree.
Mm.
So yeah, that's basically the direction of Pinoy Liga, and then eventually, our social community where you would be able to one day see, ano ba yung mga ano yung OOTD, yung kicks of the day
Ah.
of players. You would get to see also how your family would be able to rate your performance sa basketball,
Mm.
and how they be able to interact with other players or other people within the community, and then actually how you could be able to buy and purchase merchandise, whatever it
Mm.
is that you need about basketball in
Oo.
the same platform. So ang sa amin kasi is really ano eh, it's that kind of ano, it's we're trying to create the community for you
Mm.
na ano ka, hindi mo na aalisan 'yan kasi yung stats mo nakasalalay diyan. Tapos yung mga news na gusto mo nakikita about your important leagues nandiyan na.
Mm.
Tapos nandiyan na pare pati yung mga komentaryo, yung mga ganito nandiyan na.
Mm.
Tapos yung mga paborito mo mga ano, yung misis mo, yung kapatid mo nakakapag-rate sa iyo,
Oo.
comment sa iyo, tapos nabibili mo yung mga gusto mo. Anything about kumbaga a digital person, a digital basketball, a digital
Mm.
Pinoy basketball
Mm.
person would like to kumbaga offer a platform for
No?
them.
So basically this is Pinoy basketball Facebook.
I'm
Basketball
hoping. I'm
parang
hoping
ganun.
pare. I'm praying for that ano. Kasi ako
Mm.
pare like I said it's about planning and about execution. Nandun ako sa
Mm.
execution of doing it.
Oo.
So I'm hoping I'm hoping I change the world. I'm hoping that I could be able
Mm.
to be that one person that could provide that for the
Meron na bang
basketball
gano'n?
space.
Meron na bang gano'n yung parang Facebook na pang sa ibang
Hindi ko alam eh. Parang
wala.
feeling ko meron, feeling ko wala. So
Mm. O iba
but
yung or at least ibang vision, parang gano'n.
oh, but ako feeling ko meron, feeling wala. Pero at the end of the day, I'm just gonna execute.
Yeah. Oo nga. So what? So what
So
kung
what?
gano'n, 'di ba?
So
'Di
sa
ba?
akin, pare, kasi pare, the one thing that will distract you would be looking at your competition. Eh. So sa akin, pare,
True.
it,
True.
it, it will it will end up, it will eat you up. So sa akin, the one thing that you need to avoid would be insecurity.
Yeah. And
So,
your only competition is yourself. 'Di
exactly.
ba?
So,
Who you
yeah.
were the previous day,
Mm.
yun yung goal mo to top
Oo,
lang.
pare, wag
Hindi
mo nang
yung
tingnan
ano.
yung iba kasi may insecure ka lang. So, ibig sabihin, pare, di ba, in terms of execution, pare, mawawala ka eh. So, ibig
Tama,
sabihin,
tama.
di ba, huwag ka na lang ma-insecure.
Mm.
So, diretso ka lang. So, pagkatapos nun, at the end of the reckoning, where are they? Where are you? So, okay na yun, di ba? You learn to appreciate what you have.
So,
Parang ganun.
parang sa art dyan eh. Parang may mga beginner na artist
Mm-mm.
na parang, syempre, kung insecure ka dun sa art mo,
Mm-mm.
tapos you gonna compare yourself to the most popular
Mm-mm.
guy na artist na
Mm-mm.
kilala mo sa
Mm-mm.
Facebook na makita mo professional na parang that's a mistake eh.
Mm-mm.
Unang-una,
Mm-mm.
you're a beginner and you are comparing your work to to a
Agree.
to a superstar
Uh,
basically. Naturally, mas magaling sa yung superstar. So parang it doesn't make sense, 'di ba? Parang
Mm.
ba't mo ginagawa sa sarili mo 'yun?
Mm.
Parang you are pitting yourself into a fight that where you have wala kang
Wala
chance ang
kang chance na
manalo.
manalo. So,
Tapos what if you just parang you take a look at your previous work, at your latest work, and then try to do better than that.
agree.
That is the better approach, 'di ba?
Agree. Agree. On so
Yeah.
many levels, I
It's the same thing with any endeavor, 'di ba?
Pare,
Yeah.
I really appreciate the talk na yun.
Thanks.
Oo.
Cheers ulit.
Cheers. So, pare,
Meron
wala na
pa.
ako. Okay na
Wala
ako.
na.
But
Okay ka
I'm
na.
done.
Oo nga,
Para
oo nga. I'm done.
I'm good.
Oh, well, I'm
Pare,
good.
pwede ba akong umihi?
Oh, sige. Iirin ako.
Sige, paano ba? Teka,
Sige. Lagay mo lang dito. Tapos, we'll just, I'm just gonna do a monologue.
sige, go.
So, that's it. Middle door. Oo. Okay, so habang nagwiwiwi si Benny. So I hope everybody is enjoying the conversation. I'm not monitoring kasi I think nakakadagdag sa lag tong additional connection. But thank you to everybody who's watching. If you're new to this Facebook page, I do this regularly. Um, Ideally, every week. But sometimes may mga nagka-cancel, but that's okay. Check out the library. This is the 50th episode. So there's 49 other episodes na ganito din ka-intense, ganito katindi yung mga usapan. And I think these kinds of shows are very rare right now in Philippine media. And hopefully you can help us spread the word and bring Pinoy podcasting into the mainstream a little bit. And well, not mainstream, or at least medyo, kasi I think podcasts are a great form of media na that, that people can benefit people. I think it's I don't like, hindi ako komportable talking grand about things, but hopefully, like it's an aspiration, like Benny said several times already in the show. It's parang, I think um by doing the show, I'm doing something for the better of especially the Filipino people, because we're consumed ng mga puro mga sabaw o kaya either papatawanin ka lang sabaw na or gagalitin ka tapos mag-aaway kayo, 'di ba, with other unfortunately fellow Pinoys. And I'm just trying to come up with another show na we could just meet in the middle, no matter kung ano man yung pinag-uusapan, kasi there's always a middle ground,
Yep.
'di ba?
Agree.
Benny's back. So kasi kada usapan,
Mm.
people kasi are tawag doon, yung think differently, 'di ba? Hindi magkakaiba eh. So pero if you talk sincerely and long enough,
Mm.
you will find out that sometimes it's easy to villainize the other side, a person that has a different opinion than you, 'di
Yeah.
ba?
Yeah.
It's very easy na parang to peg them as your enemy.
Okay.
Pero if you take the time to understand kung saan
Okay.
ba nanggagaling yung sinasabi niya,
Mm.
parang you find out, oh, okay naman pala, he's not that bad. Parang hindi pala siya loko-loko. 'Di ba? May
Oh.
punto rin naman pala. You might
Mm.
not agree
Mm.
entirely to what
Mm.
to his ideas, pero you're gonna find out the no, he's not stupid.
Yeah,
At
that's
least hindi,
mm.
although may mga stupid talaga.
That's when the judgment comes in.
Yeah.
That's if again pare again, ako work in progress ako in terms of that eh. Mga
Yeah.
tipong
Aren't we
you
all?
know, pare don't judge kasi pare you're not a judge. Kaya ibig sabihin pare, ang point ko lang is, it's always gonna be a work in progress to be a better person. So,
Yes.
well, so yeah. So,
Anyway,
yeah.
so let's talk more about isa pang you said something about
Mm.
expanding in the
Mm.
future,
Okay.
not just kumbaga your starting point is obviously basketball,
Mhm.
pero you're gonna plan with how do you plan to execute that? Hopefully you get MMA and
Oh yeah.
combat
Yeah,
sports
of
too, di
course.
ba?
Actually naman I'm happy again to be supportive of the Samahan Basketball ng Pilipinas and I'm also the social media manager and I'm luckily and fortunate to be entrusted with the task of the MVP Sports Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So what's apparent is that we might be venturing into other sports through them,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be happy to support them in terms of digitizing their own sports side also. No, so if
Mm-hmm.
they have other sports that might be ready for digitalization, then we'll be more than happy to support. So those types of avenues on different sports, we can definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It's
How do let's say I'm a
mm-mm.
league organizer,
Okay.
and I want to gusto kong makapag ano gusto ko
Mm-mm.
yung Pinoy Liga.
Okay.
Anong kailangan kong gawin?
Well, ako pare very present ako sa social media.
Mhm.
So all they need to do is just message me through Messenger,
Mhm.
Skype, and
Mm.
all of these things. And I do have my Benny at digiweave.com.ph.
Mm.
So
Benny at DJ Weave.
Benny, tapos yung digiweave is spelled as digiweave
Mhm.
.com.ph. Because digiweave is the is our social no, sorry software development company.
Okay.
So
Ah,
that's the one that
you have a software
yeah,
development company? Wow.
that's the one that owns the Pinoy Liga
Mm.
digital property. So basically, si DigiWeave is our software development company, and one of the products that it has is the Pinoy Liga
Ah.
software. So that's basically
So
how it's.
basically, message you and you'll take it from there.
Yes,
Okay.
actually, and at the same time, we always offer, you guys trying it out for your first conference, and
Mhm.
take kumbaga parang making all types of use to it on
Mhm.
your first conference, and it's on us.
Mhm.
um Tawag dito, that's how we got the other leagues naman to sign up, because they understand the value.
Mhm.
So it's more about how do we create value to your league.
How?
Well, digitalization, it's if you came from a pen and paper type of basketball league, then definitely there's value to it
Ah, okay.
already. The fact that we could provide you the opportunity to quickly send your news feeds to our platform is
Mhm.
another value. And as we move along, yung pagkakaroon namin ng TV streams, content creations
Mhm.
on that video, it creates a lot of value for a basketball league
Mhm.
also, because wala nang basketball. I haven't seen a basketball league that doesn't do photos and videos.
Oo nga 'no?
It,
Nakakatuwa yung recent na nauso yan, maybe two
mm-mm,
years ago.
mm-mm,
At least that was the first time na naka-encounter ako nun.
mm-mm,
Yung mga Sunday basketball, Wednesday, mga ganyan,
mm-mm,
yung mga kayo-kayo lang ng
mm-mm,
tropa, biglang merong biglang merong mga photographer na hina-hire.
mm-mm,
Tapos may mga
exactly.
videographer pa, tapos may mga highlights.
Mm-mm,
And dati social ka na pag nag-hire ka ng referee eh.
mm-mm,
'Di ba? Ngayon
mm-mm,
meron ng may which is parang Ay nung mga tao nung una
Mm.
parang feel na feel, pero 'pag nakita mo ang saya nga naman,
'Di ba?
'di
So,
ba?
ang sa akin pare ano eh, it's all about being in the tune with digital. So,
Mm,
yun na yung ano eh, yun yung pupuntahan, Brad. Eh.
yun
We
talaga.
cannot deny that it's gonna be something. Well, it's there
It's the
already.
future.
It's not the future. It's the
It's the
present.
present.
It's the
Yeah.
present. So, actually, ang future is AI.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, so actually, CI also cognitive intelligence. So,
Wow.
AR, yung una artificial
Mhm.
intelligence. So, pare, I'm actually learning about cognitive intelligence already.
What's the difference of
Actually, ano,
AI and
pare, think of it this way, ano, yung mga chatbot, yung mga predictives, yung mga yan, ano. Kasi ako naman, ano, siguro yung acumen ko on the technology
Mhm.
side is taking, it has become a very nice, kumbaga, advantage. It's nice to have. It's a nice
Mhm.
to have. I'm aware about those types of technology, the moving forward. So, siguro a lot of learning also happens. So,
So, can you tell us more about the ano, hindi ko alam, ano ko pala. You're into these kinds of things.
hmm.
So, ano yung mga I've heard the discussions on podcast then
Mm.
about AI, ganyan, ganyan.
Okay.
Pero I haven't heard kumbaga, from somebody who's from the industry talaga, especially the Pinoy,
Okay.
for na one-on-one, mga ganun. So,
Siguro,
ano yung,
eh,
ano?
try to put it in a perspective where, the predictability is something that's not gonna be, uh, yung predictability, put it this way, like we have this technology that we have yung bang camera siya, AI camera siya,
Mm-mm.
that follows the ball.
Mm-mm.
And then, kumbaga, hindi na siya yung parang tipong ginaganon pa ng tao. So,
Ah.
it's unmanned. So, these types of things,
Mm-mm.
it's artificial intelligence.
Mm-mm.
So, hindi, kumbaga, the ones that you would need the manpower
Mm-mm.
on, yung minimal na yung mga manpower, yung aid ba?
Mm-mm.
These types of things, if these are the ones that moves you towards artificial intelligence already.
Mm-mm.
Chatbot, yung mga ganyan. So, yung bang tipong when someone answers you, he predicts yung kung ano yung sasabihin mo susunod
Mm-mm.
and he answers it correctly. So, these types of things,
Is it scary? Are you gonna scare people na about
Uh,
using these
it's
things?
scary if it's scary if your perspective is that it's gonna change you a lot, siguro magiging matatakot ka lang kung hindi ka naka-adapt na maaga eh.
Mm-mm.
Kasi ibig sabihin, uy, bago sa pandinig mo, bago sa paningin mo.
Mm-mm.
But if you've been adapting to it, if you feel na ano na kumbaga the advances of the last few
Mm-mm.
years you have adapted to, then there's no need to worry, I guess, 'di ba?
Okay. So you're not worried about automation, yung mga self-driving cars and manufacturer.
Actually my the sadness in me would be because a few would be laid off because
Yun nga,
diba,
tama.
so from a perspective of there's family that they need to feed,
Mm-mm.
then yun yung makakalungkot sa iyo, pero in terms of technologically advancing, diba mas maganda yun,
Oo nga,
diba, so
no?
sayang naman, diba.
Kasi especially ngayon, yung nga self-driving
Mm,
cars. 'Di ba yung
to
sa US
bro.
they're talking about ano parang yung mga interstate na mga trucks
Mm,
automated na, so wala nang truck driver.
agree.
Pero ang sabi naman kasi may truck driver pero nakaupo na lang siya, hindi na siya
Mm,
magdadrive.
mm,
So
mm.
nobody's getting laid off, parang ganun. Just
Agree.
getting laid.
Well, there are people that's lucky to be in that situation, diba?
Mm,
So, yeah.
grabe.
Diba? So, yeah.
So, pinoyliga.com,
Yes.
grabe. Ang So what else? Yung Are we gonna talk more about basketball, or
Well,
how
yeah.
about Gilas?
Gilas,
Yung
actually, oo,
mamaya may
in
laban.
a couple of minutes, pare, I need to, to
Sige,
be
sige, sige.
focusing on them. So,
Oo nga,
kasi,
no?
pare, let me just plug in
Ito.
yung,
Ito.
hey
Yeah.
guys, our Gilas under 19 team will be taking on host country Greece. Um, at the FIBA Under 19 World Cup, so, World Cup, and we need to support them.
Mm-hmm.
There's Kai Soto, there's Dal Panopio, there's Carl
Mm-hmm.
Tamayo and AJ Edu. These are the new breed of basketball players that we have.
Kay
Uh,
Soto, yung si matangkad, di ba?
Yes, yes. And this team is the tallest
Mm-hmm.
ever. And we need to support them. They need our support. It's a very very far place that they're playing, and they're playing the host country.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
sana
Greece agad ang
masuportahan.
nakalaban na.
Yeah.
Malakas ang Greece, di ba?
Malakas ang Greece, kalab
Ah.
tapos nasa same bracket din nila yung Russia and Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally I believe in the boys,
Have you
so
met them?
yes, I did.
Wow.
Because I like it, yung sa mga we've been engaging with them through social media. At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, on the events, I believe in the coaching staff, sila Coach Sandy
Mm-hmm.
Arespacochaga, and my good friend si Coach Ryan Betia.
Mm-hmm.
They've been preparing a whole lot, and si Coach JB Season of Sandeda. So
Grabe ba? May stream ba yon?
yes, actually, let me just plug the stream.
Pwede natin panoorin live yun dito.
Oh, yun nga eh. So the stream will be played sa 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 SBP page and through ESPN 5. So
Stig.
yeah. So panoorin niyo na lang mga kababayan yung
Anong
ating
oras? 1?
1:30.
1:30.
1:30 tonight. So kung kayo po ay nakainom na,
Mm. Mismo.
gising-gising ng konti para masuportahan ng ating Gilas Pilipinas Under 19 team.
Under 19 na.
Under 19
Ilang taon na
team.
ba si Kai?
I think roughly around the same age. Under
Nine,
19,
under
so
na.
most probably. So
High school
yeah,
pa lang. High school pa lang
high
yata.
school, but he's training now in the States. So I think the
Oo.
roadmap is for him to be
Lumaki siya, di ba? Ng konti.
nag-bulk
Nagkaroon.
up, nag-bulk up. I'm happy for the kid.
It's parang he's touted as the parang ang hope ng Pilipinas for NBA.
Yeah, ako pare, I really am hoping, sabi ko after, because I was pinning my hopes on Kobe Paras,
Oo nga
pero
di ba? So what,
uh,
parang dapa bigla pero wala. There's
different
some
story.
uh,
So I'm hoping for Kai Soto to be that one, so I hope he brings us that. Kasi syempre iba pa rin yung talagang nanggaling dito,
mm,
na-train dito,
yeah,
nagsimula
homegrown.
dito, homegrown. That would be the legitimate, sorry, not the legitimate, but mas may buy-in yung
Oo.
Filipino nation sa ganun
Mas
eh.
parang mas masarap.
Mas masarap pa
Di
kayo
ba?
na nagsimula yung bata
Mm.
dito, talagang from the ground, and then
Had the Pinoy mentors, di ba?
Pinoy mentors, all of these things. And I think Kai provides the best opportunity for us. So kakapit tayo, kumbaga sasandigan tayo kay Kai for for our first NBA dream ba?
Oo nga, no?
Mm.
Is it important to have a Pinoy player in the NBA?
Well, well, for our culture, it should,
Oo,
because sabi ko nga pare, for the longest time, we're the basketball crazy nation of Asia. But, look at it. Si Japan had the first round pick.
talaga?
Uh,
Hindi ko
so,
alam yan ah.
so,
Grabe.
ibig sabihin, di ba, and to think that, between Japan and us, we're we're in the World Cups, di ba? So,
Mm-hmm.
ibig sabihin, point ko lang is, between Japan and us, mas I think mas rich ang history natin, and
Oh.
mas competitive tayo globally with them. But they have their they have their use tatabuse dati, 'di ba? And now they have the guy from Gonzaga. So sayang, sana tayo rin, 'di ba?
No.
So, I'm hoping for the best for Kai. And
Well,
then,
malapit na yan. Malapit na.
uh,
I think there's one more kid na parang pwede rin. Nabanggit ni Nakiko last time. I just
si
forget.
Remy Martin.
Remy Martin?
No,
Oh,
hindi ko
grabe.
alam kung Remy Martin eh. Pero
Parang
Remy
ano yun, di ba
Martin,
alak yun, di
alak
ba?
nga eh. But
Grabe. Lasing sila dun kay Remy Martin.
he's from Arizona State. The kid's good.
Pero hindi siya homegrown.
But he has Filipino willingness to play for us. So,
Ganun.
but I hope that the Samahan will be able to bring Remy to play to us,
Mm.
so I think they're
Dapat
doing their best.
dapat ayos na yung passport nila. Kasi yun ang naging problema ni Ray Parks, di ba?
And
Yung passport
I'm
something.
hoping that the Samahan will be able to bring si Remy to, and they're doing their best talaga.
Oh.
And that's one thing that we could guarantee. I could speak for what I've been seeing, the efforts of our president, si Sir Al Panlilio,
Mm-hmm.
in trying to bring the best talents available for the Samahan.
For
I
mm-hmm.
mean for the Gilas program.
To a regular guy like me who has no idea how it is, how it works dito sa mga samahan na yan.
Hmm.
How paano sila nakakatulong sa sports?
Well, there's the different pillars of the Samahan. Pillars, you know the Gilas program, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and then the globalization of the coaching techniques.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, let me just plug for my good friend Coach Jongoy Chico that this coming July there's a
Mm-hmm.
coaches summit that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen. So we're gonna bring in coaches from Australia to bring in some of their learnings to us. So we invite
Mm-hmm.
the whole nation to 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 join the coaches summit this July 19 and 20. I think so. Ano siya? Uh, let's try to bring in some of these talents, so in
Mm-hmm.
terms of coaching, so we have good coaches eh.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer you, pare koy, SBP has been trying to globalize to in tune the coaching standards of Philippine coaches through Coach Jong Chico.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time yung bang globalization of the technical sorry, of referees and statistician and,
Mm-hmm.
and the technical committees. So kumbaga ang ginagawa natin ni streamline na natin eh.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to make it as globalized as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So yun nandun, so ang laki ng value ng SBP talaga because
SBP is
Samahan Basketball
sa
Network.
Manbasa. Okay.
So it's very very big in terms of value, because the brand alone, and the Gilas brand, if can you imagine, 20 years ago we haven't been to the World Cup,
Mm.
but right now pare consistently we've been visitors of the World Cup.
Oo nga.
In fact, kumbaga yung different age groups, the women's, the 3x3.
Actually.
So, no, kung kumbaga, sabi ko nga sa kanila dun sa grupo, there's a renaissance of Philippine basketball because we're really experiencing, kasi baka hindi naiintindihan ng iba that we've been experiencing World Cups after World Cups after World
Mm-hmm.
Cups. It hasn't been done. It hasn't
Mm-hmm.
been done before. It's only now. So
Mm-hmm.
parang tipong baka kasi mama there should be an appreciation to that, and the SBP plays a big part
Well,
in that.
well, there's still to me parang ang ano ko is and I'd assume also to regular folks is parang medyo malayo pa yung ranking ng Pilipinas. So are we how is it really?
Oh no, we are.
Mm-mm.
We're ranked between 25 and 31.
Ah.
Diyos ko,
And pero the teams 50 plus ba? Tama ba?
no.
Ano?
Parang in terms of global,
Mm-mm.
pare, we're ranked in the first, pare, we're in top 50. We're at least top 30
Ah,
in the world.
in the
So I
world.
hope there's an appreciation of that, ano.
That's a big deal pala.
Oh, that's a big deal. It's
Ah,
like,
okay.
pare, isipin mo na lang that, we're top 30 teams out of what, 200 I
200.
mean 200 countries in the world. I don't know how many countries we are in the world, but the truth of the matter is we're top 30. And that's
That's huge nga.
that's huge
That's
kasi
huge.
I think there isn't a lot of appreciation to that eh.
Mm-mm.
Because
Oo nga.
siguro there's that we got used to all the winning that or the qualification that we have, but
Mm-mm.
we fail to appreciate that 20 years ago we haven't been experiencing this,
Mm.
but we are now.
How,
So dapat I'm not saying this because I'm part of the SBP group as their social
mm-hmm.
media manager, but more than anything it's really from a
An
fan
accomplishment.
oh from a fan perspective,
Mm-hmm.
from a person who has seen Philippine basketball from my point of view. It's really something. It's a significant jump. It's a significant growth. Diba? It's
When
not.
Gilas started, anong rank natin?
I don't have the number,
Oh, you
but
know? Mm-mm.
it's probably not 25. It's not
Mm-hmm.
probably between 25 and 30. It probably is around the 50 to 70 range, but don't quote me on that. But
Mm-hmm.
the truth is, pare, we're in a very very nice renaissance now.
Is the Gilas team really well taken care of?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. They are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from a support perspective, from the governing body, they
Mm-hmm.
are. Syempre, I cannot speak for the monetary or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that, but I am not privy to that. But from how the governing body is standing firm on creating a very nice program. No? Program kasi dapat hindi natin tinitingnan niya na steam. Kasi
I
program eh. Kasi the
see.
Gilas
Okay.
program is the Gilas Men's, which is yung Gilas natin na yung mga
Ah.
yung most popular.
Mm-hmm.
Gilas Women's,
Mm-hmm.
Gilas Youth, and then Gilas 3x3.
May 3x3. Okay.
Yes. So marami kasi yan eh. And I hope that everyone appreciates the fact that each and every one of that pumupunta na sa World Cup. Pumupunta na sa
Mm.
world stage. Hindi lang Asia, hindi lang Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
So again, and I echo the sentiment that there should be an appreciation to the improvement. There should be an appreciation to the growth that has happened. I, that's just me, not
Well,
as anyone from them, but more as a fan, as a fan.
well, how do you sa tingin mo how would you assess the average Pinoy basketball fan in terms of being knowledgeable about the game
Ah,
and the inside out, alam mo yun, 'di ba mga ganun, you get what I mean?
yeah. Well,
uh,
hmm, pare, again, I go back to how technologically advanced na tayo. Pare,
mm-hmm,
everything is at the palm of your hands, literally.
mm-hmm,
Um, everyone can be an analyst these days.
mm-hmm.
Diba? So, pare, lahat sila advanced, pare. Even the young kids
Talaga.
know
Mm-hmm.
their basketball, It's just that how you decipher the good from the bad,
Mm-hmm.
and the not to say the correct, but the more reasonable judgment, the more reasonable comments and analysis. You have to take the good from the bad, yun lang naman yun,
Yeah.
diba?
All right.
Yep.
So yeah, 12:30 na pala.
Yes, 12:30 na. I have
12:30.
1 hour to go home
So
and
yun. I'm gonna
check
let
out
you.
Gilas because I'm gonna be puyat dahil ako'y Hi Nuki, if you're
Yeah.
watching this ang aking graphic artist, magpupuyat tayo for kila Coach Ryan tsaka kila Jamal.
Sino tong si ni Walsh siya daw? Give me my 53 beat. What the
Uh,
hell?
Baka mamaya Bitcoin, wala ko
Oo nga.
kaming ganun,
Wala
boss.
kami. Sino ba to? Anyway, yun.
Yeah, thank you, pare Kuya.
Thank you for
Mm.
coming over and alam mo yun, for ang sarap ng usapan natin. Let's do this again.
Sure.
One of
One of these days,
one of
ah.
these days, and let's talk about the things that your plans, 'di ba?
Oh,
And
bro.
I think let's see if how I could help you and
Sure,
diba?
sure. Again, ano, Pinoy Liga TV, Pinoy Liga Newsfeed, Pinoy Liga Digital Stats is
Mm-hmm.
all there. It's for the Filipino people, it's for the Filipino basketball
Mm.
player and the Filipino basketball operator across the country.
Yeah.
Uh, we're offering the service and the software to
Mm.
you liberally. Use it, test it, because we just want the Filipino people to experience digital basketball,
Mm.
really, more than anything.
Yeah. Well, it's a push
Mm-mm.
forward for the culture, and
Mm-mm.
we know how important basketball is to Filipino culture.
Yes,
It is a flag bearer. It is
correct,
a source of pride whenever we win, and
correct, correct.
very few things
Mm.
na about anything na that can compare to basketball when it comes to representing the Philippines and Filipino
Agree,
culture, 'di ba?
agree, agree. In so many
A
levels,
strong
agree.
yes. So that's it.
Kapatid, thank you.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maraming salamat Danny. Let's do this again.
I will. I promise you that I will be, yung mga insights. I'm very interested to to share what I've known so far
All right.
about about not just Philippine basketball but entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Let's talk more about those things in the future. But for now, Gilas
Gilas,
1990 ano 19 and
under
below under
19, under
19
19 in an
is gonna be
hour.
playing. Let's watch.
Let's watch it.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, Powerful Comics Man podcast. Bye bye.
Bye bye.